That's cool.
Yeah. So that's why we say you want to get your site what is modified and updated as fast as you can, because you do have a live working site on Google. It's just on the back end of Google because it's still classified as a template, but it is searchable. You can give your website out to anybody and they can find it on Google.
I'm finding that as I'm modifying, it may take 3 hours to do one page.
Yeah,
I'm actually working from like 8:30 in the morning until 1 or 2 in the morning. Because in the middle of that, I might have to go to my job and come back and start again, or I'm in a meeting and then I start after that. And it's just, right now I'm getting really exhausted. This has gone on for weeks.
Yeah, that's why I say work a calendar. You don't want your website to be your downfall. So work your calendar. Put it on the calendar that you're going to set aside so many hours and a specific time that you're going to work your website, and stick to it. You don't want this to be your excuse not to do it, that you're just too tired and it's taking too much time, especially if you have another job that you have to go to. So the phone, could you mute the phone?
Sorry, that was my husband's phone.
That's okay.
I'm trying to tell him, come get your phone.
So that's the one thing I want you to be aware of, that you don't let your web system become your excuse to quit or to give up. Never let that be an instance. Work it. If you're working a full-time job and you say, okay, this is my family time. This is the time I need to sleep because I do need time to sleep. And these are the times I can work my system. Then that's what you do. But don't let this be your downfall.
I feel like I need to rush it because I've been in since July 2nd, but there were 3 weeks in August when people were gone.
Yep.
And I feel like I'm catching up. There's no catching up.
No, and what you got to realize too, Holly, is this is your website, and it's going to be yours from now until the day you die. You know, not pun not intended, but you know, this is going to be your retirement plan basically. And if you go to a 9-to-5 job, you have it scheduled. You know what you need to do every day. You know, so work your system the same way. You're not getting paid by the hour. Rory always says you're getting paid by your actions. So if you feel it's necessary for you to come in and work it all the time, then that's what you need to do. But don't get it to the point to where, you know, you're just so exhausted. It's like, man, I can't do that anymore. I'm done with it. It's finished.
That's been happening the last couple of nights.
Yeah. And don't get that way. That means you need to structure your time better. Work smarter, not harder. That doesn't mean you're not going to work hard. That just means allocate a good time frame. You know, structure your time to where it benefits both of, you know, your website and you. You don't want to be so exhausted from doing your website that you don't want to do it.
Well, I literally couldn't even put a word together.
Don't do that. Don't do that, because what you're going to look at in the long run, and I've seen this happen time and time again, is that you work so much time in your website that you don't see the monetary benefit coming in fast enough, and then you think it's not worth it because you're losing so much time, you're using sleep, and you feel like you've put so much time and effort in it to see no results, and then you give it up because you're like, I have my regular job that's going to sustain me. It's sustained me this long. I can keep doing it, and you just get discouraged. So don't let that happen. Structure your time. If you have weekend time that you don't work on a job, then use that time. But every day you need to be going in. If you only can do a couple paragraphs a night and do it consciously and be good, then that's good productivity. But if you're spending 3 hours on a page and you look at it and it's like, man, I didn't do anything, it still looks the same, then that's not very productive work. You want to be able to look at your pages that you're working on and actually see good results in it. If you're just physically too tired to do that, then you'll get discouraged and you don't want to do that.
After 3 hours, I can look at it and I'm satisfied.
Okay.
But I can't do it in 30 minutes. You know, like I'm not experienced at this, so I can't redo a page that fast.
Yeah, you're not going to be I can do a page from start to finish in about an hour and a half. But like I said, I love to write. I already have the idea in my head when I get started. I already know exactly what I'm going to write. A lot of you don't do that. You're not programmed that way. I've been programmed that way my whole life.
Once I get writing, I can write and write and write. I've been a teacher for 35 years, and it's like, that's the easy part. Talking in front of people is an easy part. Because I had to talk in front of students all the time, and I couldn't be shy. So even if a parent asked me an awkward question, I had to come up with a good answer, and I did.
We're going to go over that. That's going to incorporate on two of the fronts that we're going to be talking about today, what you just said.
Thank you.
Right, no problem. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Like I said, this is my new student. She's got the brand new updated version of the WordPress, and we are going to go to her computer page. And I'm trying to remember where that is, because I got a feeling that that didn't get changed. There we go. All right, so we're going to come here and edit this. And I think this is the one that has the video that's overlapping. Unless they changed it. If you have a newer version, they might have fixed that glitch in there. I think this was the one, yeah.
I just have one more thing to say to you, Sheila.
Mm-hmm.
You are my lifeline. If I can't get something answered anywhere else, I know I can wait till Saturday and get the answer. It really means a lot to me. I really appreciate what you do. All that time you give and all that good advice you give.
Oh, no, that's what I'm here for.
I second that.
I third that.
Oh, there you go.
I love to teach. I don't think any question needs to go unanswered, and I don't think any question is a stupid question. But that's just me. If you're asking a question, then you really need to answer. There's no such thing as stupid questions.
I don't think I got in on that. Absolutely.
There you go.
No
Sheila,
such thing as, yes, sir.
Could I respond to Holly for 1 second? 1 minute, please.
Yes, sir.
Holly, I know what you're talking about. I worked so hard and so long on mine, I got burned out. I just couldn't go on. What you need to do, at least what I need to do, is take a break. So what I've decided to do is take 1 day a week when I don't look at it. Now, I do continue my V-leads, but I don't try to modify pages or research them for 1 full day. And I feel better and more willing to get involved the next day. And that'll last about a week.
What's your name?
That's Mr. Bruce.
Mr. Bruce. You know, I played hooky for a week. I just got burnt out a little bit, and I said, I'm not making any progress. I can't do it. I got to go to bed at a normal time. I got to eat right. I got to take care of myself. And then I went back to it.
Well, if it takes longer than 1 day, take it.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. You got to
can't afford to get burned out permanently.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. The one with because Rory's changed.
Thank you.
Oh, you're fine. You're good. The computer video. So this one, they've actually taken it out. I know it was here. So they've removed it from the page on the new system. So I can't really show you how to fix it. But they had this system here. But if you pull up the video, and this is actually in Classic. So let's see if it's in Classic Block. It is in Classic. It is in Classic Block. So instead of regular Block. So what you would have to do, those that have a system that you got before May, I think it is March or May, one of those M dates, months. You actually have 2 of these videos, and one of them sits right here above this information. If you click on that video, you will see this type of information here, and it's going to have a 57.25, and it's going to have this character beside it. And you want to do the same thing that you do with here. You just want to highlight the information from the bracket to the bracket. That's it. Don't take away any spaces. Don't take away any of the information before or after the bracket, and just put a % sign. And that will make it a %, because your videos, some of the videos, the coding has the same thing. So when your coding pulls up and you see that it's over, or you pull up your page and you see that your picture is over that, then that's what you need to do, is just pull up the picture. It's going to have the same thing. It's going to have like a preview or HTML. You want to pull it up in your HTML code and do it that way. If you want to private message me and send me your login information, I can go in there and show you how to fix that. And we can actually use yours as a training, since yours is the one that's still has that code in there. And we can
I have gotten rid of the codes, but the video is just a blank screen.
Okay, if the video is a blank screen and it just has like the gray area, then that means that video is no longer available. So you can just X out that whole thing.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, if you ever come across one where the video is blank and it just has the sad face on there and it's gray, that means they've removed that video from YouTube, or they've sent it to where it's a private message or a private video, and you have to pay to actually use it now.
Okay.
So if you run across one like, huh?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Should there still be 2 videos?
Yeah, you can have as many as you want. You can also go to YouTube and find another video if you want to replace it that's on computer. I did that as well. Computer actually has some videos on their program, on their website that you can use and download it and put that in there.
Okay.
So you can go to YouTube and search for more videos on computer. Just make sure that they follow along with our programming. And then you can input it there. Just going to open up, if it's in HTML, just type in the HTML or the embed code and put that in there, and it'll work the same way.
Okay, but just one more question. I'm sorry, but I've had mine for a while, certainly before May. Should I go back and look at look at Rory's and see if mine is just out of date and what I'm saying and everything, or should it be pretty much the same?
No, because yours is that old and you've been working on it, you don't want to go back and copy anything of Rory's. You want to continue making everything original.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I definitely don't want to do it.
Because then you're going to end up doing the same thing you're doing now on your pages, is you're going to end up modifying his words. So
yeah.
I'm doing that now, is going back through some of the ones that I created when I first got in, and I can't believe Google even approved me for AdSense. Some of them are so terrible. And rewriting them, because I've changed, I've grown a lot. I know how to write a little bit better, get my thought process a little bit better. So you can do that. It's called updating. That's why I always tell even my students, your website will never be complete. It'll never be finished, I should say, because you should always be updating. You should always be adding more content, because your life changes. Things happen in your life that you're like, man, I could really, need an outlet for that. Let me write about this. And you always get approval for new ads. New companies will always come through once they see that your site's still going, especially on CJ. Those that you applied for and got denied, if you are still active and continue to be active and your website's still there, and they start seeing your click ratio go up on CJ, all of a sudden you start getting emails, you've been approved, or welcome to our program. And you're like, well, who are these people? And it's usually ones that you've been denied, or ones that you haven't even applied for, but they see that you're running similar ads in your website, because they can go in and look at your website because you're registered with CJ, and they will actually invite you into their program. So never give up. Continue to work on it daily. And I will tell you, I work my system on Saturday. When I get finished here, I'll make a few phone calls, and then Saturday evening is my family's. Sunday is my family's. And then at 7 o'clock on Sunday night, I sit down and do my schedule. I take the weekend off if I can. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't schedule a student here and there, that's their only time they can get together. But there's no way I can do this 7 days a week the way I do it. I would be burnt out. So yeah, I take time off. And if that's what you need to do to not be burned out, take the time off. But the time that you are using, make sure you utilize it to the fullest potential. That means you use that calendar and schedule your time wisely. Okay.
Okay.
Sheila, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you working and doing the blogging?
No, I do this permanently, full time.
Did you work and do this at the same time at one point?
I did for about a week. Well, see, my husband has a very good income, and I work because I wanted to. I've been very fortunate that way. So when this came, I fell across this. There was some issues going on with the company I was with. I've been with the company in HR for 15 years. They were getting younger and younger, fresh out of college people in that thought they knew everything, and we just clashed heads. I'm not one to clash heads. I don't deal with idiocy at all.
Right.
And so I was with this for about a week, just playing with it. And so one day I just like, okay, I'm done. Nobody believed me because I was, a corporate clone, so to speak. They thought I was going to be there forever and a day. And when I walked out, they were all surprised. So,
That's awesome. That's my goal. That's my goal, is to be able to walk off my job.
Yeah. And it will happen, and, you just have to plug at it. You have to see what your convictions are. You don't ever want to walk away from something that you need that income to do something else.
Hello.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, this is a system that's going to take time to generate the income that you want. Yes, we do have programs in there like our wine and our Valencia. But you have to stick with those. You have to, get on the calls, talk to people, post those ads. 200 ads is not going to do it. I'm going to tell you that. It's not going to do it. Paul has over 100,000 ads. I know, who was it? There's another guy. He's got over 300,000 ads. And they're seeing the money coming in. So if you're like, man, I got 1,500 ads. I'm doing good. You haven't even touched the surface. And I go through students and there's like, man, I just posted 50 ads on classified for free for all the states. Okay, now go back to each state and city you can. Well, why do I need to do that? You need to flood the market. And like I saw a statistic last night, actually, and there's 3.5 billion people that search the internet on any given time. And for you to say I got, 1,500 ads out there, that ain't even a percentage. You can't even calculate the percentage. You're not getting seen the way you want to get seen. So you need that's half the world's population. Yeah. At any given time, somebody is searching on Google for something. That many people.
I noticed when I started to try to post ads, there were already like 7 or 8 from our company posting up there on the top, and
doesn't matter. What you want to do, and that's why it's so important to modify your pages, even your title sometimes. It doesn't necessarily mean you need to modify your keyword, but especially if it's a good keyword, multiple people can have the same keyword. It's all in the matter of your search engine, your ad sites, who's getting the most clicks. That's how Google rates you. If me, Paul, and you have the same search keyword, but we all have different titles, our content's all different, then it's all who's relatable. If I get 20 more clicks than you do, and Paul gets 20 more clicks than I do, Paul's going to be rated better, higher up than I am. But I would still be right there for people to see. So then it's all a matter of preference. Do they like my title better than they like Paul's title better than they like your title? But our key phrase and keyword is still there for everybody to search. So then it's just a preference of your title. So that's why we want to make everybody have you be individualized. Individualize your website.
So your keyword might be, I don't know, it could be a number of things, but the thing that I've noticed most on top of most people's blogs is great opportunities, great savings, great, shopping or something like that.
Again, that's a total
awesome comes a lot. So
and see, mine's not that. Mine's me. I fixed it to me because this is the name everybody relates to. They knew me by this. So why not create my blog around something that's already a standard name for a lot of people that I know?
So you use Sheila in your title?
Mama Chief.
Mama Chief.
Mama too?
Mama
Okay.
Chief. Shop with Mama Chief. This is mine. I have nothing on there about opportunities. You can make this anything you want. Anything you want.
Mama Chief. I thought you said Mama T.
No, Mama Chief. Yep, Mama Chief.
I have a problem with that. Is with not with you, but I mean with my title.
Yeah, you can always change it. Just remember that if you have advertised your homepage with that name, when you go back to change it, it will be a blank page. So, but go ahead and change your title. Play with it. You know, make it yours. All right. So we'll come back to this later. I want to go over some of the other things that we have to talk about. Internal and external links. That was one of yours, Miss Holly.
Yes.
So we are going to go to one of my pages that I just did. Let's see, where's my promo page? So this is what we call a, I did this category, promotion and seasonal sales, just for my promotions and seasonal sales, like Easter, all the holidays that's coming up, so that I don't have to keep taking everything out. Whenever I do a Valentine's post, then I know I can put it in my promotion and seasonal, so that people knows that that's just going to be, you know, with specific time and date, and then I can update them as I come to them. Same thing with back to school. And what this is going to do, most of your internal, your category pages should all have internal links. They should not have external links, because this is going to go to wine page. So this is my Halloween party and costumes. And it says right here, get the best wines available. So if they click on this, it's going to take them to my wine page, or a wine page that I created. So that's going to my wine page that I created. And this is my title, Find Wines Online. That's my key phrase. And it's talking about all the different things that I can, see. Find wines delivered to your doors, the next best thing. So this is all that I have. Then right here, it's got perfect meals with your wine. And here it says opportunity to earn free wine. Join the wine club, a wine club. And one of these has a link to my Fine Wines page. Can't remember. I think I put them all to my outside link. I don't think I had to have an internal link somewhere.
What do you mean outside link?
Okay, outside link, if I click on this, it's going to take them away from my page, and it's going to take them to my direct sellers. That is what you call an external link. It goes away from your page. Okay? Mm-hmm. And it opens in a new tab, and it takes them to my direct sellers page. Okay? That's an external link. Now, an internal link is where you have that same thing, and it takes them to, let's see, did this one go? This one might go to external link too. Let me see. Yep. I think I got them all going. Let me check my SEO, see if I got external link, internal link. I should have.
Well, something else I want to ask about is how to make the orange turn green.
Okay. That's the color. I'm going to show you how to do that. But so if I come here to my edit page, and I'm going to go down here to my Yoast, my SEO, and it will tell me everything that I need or I don't have. So let's see, we got a couple more people jumped on. Let's see who jumped on. Okay. Oh, come on, don't take forever. So we're going to come down here to my SEO, and we're going to see exactly what it's telling me I need to do. All right, so my SEO analysis, let's open that up and see if it tells me I have internal links. Okay, it tells me that it's good. I want to see it. Okay.
I've heard on other classes, there's a difference between good and great, or okay, you know, and I'm just.
There is. You always want to strive for green and green overall. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, it's telling me that I'm using a key phrase that another page is using, ranking for. So that's telling me Fine Wines Online. There's an advertiser that I'm using, which is Direct Sellers, that is also using that Fine Wines Online link phrase. So I need to go in and edit that a little bit. But I'm not going to, because I'm advertising. I like the way it sounds. It'll be okay. It's not the perfect or ideal thing you want, but I like the way my page is. If I change that key phrase, then I have to go in and change it everywhere. And I already have this advertised, so that is not the thing I want to do. So go ahead.
You made a whole page about the business.
Yes.
Great.
This is my page from beginning to end. So so what I'm going to do, and so I'm trying to find out which one of these is an internal link so I can show you. No, not the picture. Direct sellers. Mm-hmm. And I'm clicking on these links so it tells me, you see it shows me exactly where each link's going. And it might be one of my pictures that I have linked out to goes internal.
Now, when you're making links, you're clicking on the word, you're clicking on the pencil, you're taking out whatever link might be in there that's incorrect, and you're putting in the, you know, your own link or the link like to Direct Sellers, and then you click the arrow that points left, which is apply, and then
okay, I'll show you how to do that.
all
right. So here, right here, where it says side business and a great and get your wine for free. I actually have a page on how to create a side business with Direct Sellers. So I send them to that page. So this is what an internal link is. You see it has my web address, 5e95.com. It has the page I've created. If I click on this, it's going to take them back to my website, to my page I created. It's coming back to my site. So that's what we call an internal link. It's a page you've created that's going to be in your pages, and you're just going to grab that link. So as you can see, they came to my page, and this was another page I created, Fine Wine Business Opportunities, and it's showing you how Direct Sellers, I actually put the Direct Sellers web video in there. Opportunity knocks, I've got different pictures in there. I need to fix that. I don't like the way that looks. Yeah, I don't like the way that looks. So in all of this, like this one, it's got a link in there, but my picture's gone because I cleaned out my media library, which I shouldn't have done because all those pictures are linked to somewhere. When you delete a picture out of your media library, it deletes it off your website. Something I found out the hard way. So I have these blanks in here that I have to go through, and that's another thing that I'm doing is cleaning up my website, is I'm going through fixing that. So this is the page that it's taken them to. So that's an internal link in my web system. And again, they're still in my web system, unlike where they click the other link that took them to Direct Sellers, which is not in my web system. That's an external link. So just remember, an internal link brings them back into your website so that they can still see all your shopping menu. An external link takes them straight to the company you're advertising for.
Okay, that's clear. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, so we've got that.
Sheila?
Yes, sir.
Just because you're only supposed to drink one glass of wine doesn't mean that you have to obey them.
No, it's always a suggestion.
So you're only getting the short end of the stick if you so choose.
Exactly. So, and I try on some of them. I think there's one of them I have in there where I actually let people know I don't drink. This is all research material or information from my customers or other affiliate marketers.
I'm so glad you said that, Sheila, because I don't drink either.
Yeah.
And so many people that I could contact about this business, I can't because of the wine. And having a wine party is a problem. Same reason.
Don't make it. You're making it about yourself. It's not. I had that issue too. And I talked with some good counselors at my church about it. And you have to look at it as a business. This is a business. Just because it's a business, you know, you're not partaking. Just like when you go to Walmart or go to any grocery store, you have the option to choose if you're going to go down that wine aisle. Anybody that goes to Food Line, if you've noticed, the wine is directly across from the bread and paper products. So guess what? You're going down there. Does people know that you're going down there to get wine and beer, or do they know you're going down there to get bread and paper products? No, it doesn't matter. You can let people know up front, this is a business. You're not forcing anything down their throat. If you're uncomfortable hosting a wine social, get with people that do. Be there for information. I tell them right up front, don't ask me how the wine tastes. I couldn't tell you. I don't drink it, but I can tell you how it's made, how it's processed, why it's processed. Jerry Greenfield, I corner him every time we go somewhere. What's your new book? I need the techniques. You know, I tell him all the time on his Facebook page or on his, you know, when I message him on Skype or anywhere, you know, what's the latest, you know, thing that's coming out? This new wine's coming out. How is it made? You know, what's the process in it? Give me the technical stuff. When I went to Napa and won the trip with Napa, from Direct Sellers last year, every winery we went to, I didn't taste one bottle, didn't taste one glass, but everybody, the guides, the sommeliers, I asked them every technical question I could. So don't let the fact that it's wine and an alcoholic beverage deter you from marketing it. You don't have to partake, and you can tell them up front, I'm not a drinker, so don't ask me how it tastes. What else do you want to know about it? Yes, it's a good moneymaker if you drink wine, or even if you use it to cook with. I made some venison stew the other day with some black beans and pinto beans, and I marinated it with white wine. Mm-hmm. You know, so
yeah, I'm doing a cooking thing
with wine at some point in time. It's a good tenderizer. It gives it flavor. The alcohol cooks off of it. You know, so don't let that be a deterrent from you partaking in the marketing aspect of it. If you're comfortable with something, don't do it, but don't let it deter you from marketing. If there's people on my Facebook that I know get offended with me marketing wine, guess what? You can go up to Facebook, click on who you don't want it to show, and it won't show them your ad or your feed for that particular one. That doesn't mean it won't show them your feed for all your other ones, but that particular one, you can block them from seeing it so that you don't get negative comments from it.
Well, I work for a music academy at a church.
Don't let it hinder you.
I work for music.
But you have to go through what your convictions are. If you know that there's people you can't market to, don't market to them. Find a new.
Well, I mean, I could get fired if I do.
But I also know that there's people I can. And those are the ones you target. Do your free advertising. Find out who's in your area that is interested in doing a wine social with you so that you're not the focus of it. And then you educate yourself on the background of wine. You don't have to know what it tastes like to be able to market it. There's enough people out there can tell you what it tastes like. And you can get various views. Like I said before, I gave the same bottle of wine to two different friends of mine and got two very different opinions. One said it was really dry, that she couldn't drink it. One said it was the best wine she'd ever tasted. So it just depends on their palate. You know, she didn't say it was a bad wine. She just said it was good. It was dry, that it had a good taste. And the other one said, where can I get more? You know, so it all depends on their palate and their preference. So market to those that you can, those that you can't, you know, don't worry about it. There's enough people out there that you can market to.
So Sheila, so you're doing the wine club, right?
Yes.
Do you get wine shipped to you?
Yes.
So, and you use that as a sample to other people to?
I do. I never go anywhere without at least 2 bottles in my truck.
Okay.
Because you never know who you're going to run into. You never know what kind of conversation you might strike up. I always have business cards in my pocket or my purse, which I don't carry a purse. Most of them that saw me in Dallas saw I didn't carry, a little book bag. I always have cards on me, and they'll ask me, what do you do? Where do you get that wine from? And oh, here's my card. Look me up. And I have my Facebook on there or my Instagram on there. In the wine section, like I said, at Food Line, I'm down there getting bread, and it never fails. You'll see people and they got wine and they're holding up 2 bottles. Great conversation piece, especially if you know about wine. What kind of, I see you confused about wine. What are you having for dinner tonight? Or is it for a special occasion? And there's like, yeah, I don't really know what to pick, and then you can tell them some of the properties of wine. And then you got to let them know, well, don't have this dilemma again. Here's my card. You can, join this wine club, have it delivered, and you'll have a bottle ready for any occasion. And then I just walk away. And then if I happen to be outside, loading my grocery up and I see them walk by, I'm like, oh, here, did you find a wine? Well, yeah, but I'm not sure. Well, here's a bottle. You can take this one and see which one they like better. And on that bottle, it's got a ribbon wrapped around the bottle with my card on it. And all the information from my direct sellers and my website.
Your business
right
card.
So not only do they get a free bottle of wine, but they get my card information. So, I've already given them a card. So now whoever gets the bottle of wine also gets a card. So you just never know.
Where do you get, I'm sorry.
On your business card.
It's already a tax write-off, so utilize it so that they won't come back and question your tax write-offs. Yes, I gave that, and make a note of it. I gave X bottle name, to lady at grocery store. So, keep a record of it. But yeah, I don't drink none of my wines. I use it either for cooking or I give them all away. Or if I have a wine social and it's a new customer or a new student that got in, I bring the wine. I'll tell them, how many bottles of wine? Well, I just got my 4 bottles. Okay, I bring a case because I have about 2 cases on hand at all times.
So on your business card.
I can't hear you. On your Somebody's talking, but I can't hear what they're saying.
Can you hear me? Oh, wait.
I can't. I can barely hear you.
I wonder why.
I heard all right, but that is it. Yeah, you're very muffled.
Can you hear me now?
No.
Oh, wow. Why? What happened?
Yeah, I can hear her perfect.
Am I the only one? Can anybody else hear her talking?
Yes, I can hear her.
I hear her just fine.
I don't hear anybody. Is it just me?
If you can't hear anybody, it's you.
Yeah.
Okay. I have my volume cut down.
You can't do that.
I was like, man, that's so awful low talking. Okay.
Okay, you still can't hear me? Can you hear everybody else?
Perfectly now. Go ahead.
Okay. Your business card, is that something that you created yourself?
I did. I will show it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, and I created it with Avery. They're Avery products. Okay. And it's amazing. It's cheap. You can buy the paper at Walmart for like $3 or $4 a pack. If you really want to get fancy, you can go to an office supply store and get the real fancy stuff, Well,
I made business cards for my husband in his work.
Mm-hmm.
Him and I got together and we created a card for him. And I have the equipment or the tools to do it. I just didn't know for our business that we can create.
Oh yeah, you can create anything you want for your business, and just keep track of all your paperwork. But some of you were talking about icons. For those that were talking about your icons show up, you see these icons? Well, you see I have all mine labeled, so I know what they are, but I want to see what these look like. I don't want to just see this icon, right?
Right.
So I'm going to go up here to view and see where it says view.
Right.
And you see where it's got highlighted that it's showing me a detail of it. I don't want to see the detail. I want to see the actual picture, image.
Right.
So I click on where it says icon. And then that's where my pictures, you can see my toolbar is uploading the pictures.
Uh-huh.
And so all of a sudden, once it finishes uploading, it's going to find my pictures and it's going to put them in there.
Banana.
So you hit view and then large icon.
Or you can do extra large, just depends on how big you want them. And it just takes a minute, depending on how big your file is, for it to upload everything in there. I have quite a few in here. So it will upload all my my files you see there. It's putting them in there slowly but surely. And it's still adding things as it comes to. And I use Canva to create. How long have you been doing this? Almost 2 years. So all my files are pretty large.
Sheila, did you got paid from your blog, but do you get paid as an instructor?
No, instructors do not get paid. We do this out of our own free will. So, which I love. Teaching has always been my forte. I absolutely
love it too. I mean, how can you stay in it for 35 years and not love it?
Yes. I homeschool my children, so you have to love it to teach your own kids.
Well, I taught my own, but they were in a school. So I taught both my girls to read, which I thought was really cool for me.
Yeah, I homeschooled mine. Then they wanted to go to high school with their friends, and I was like, okay. When they went to high school, I put all my degrees that I got while I was schooling them and went to work and kicked my butt every day that I decided to do that.
I'm doing the one I like the most right now. I love teaching piano.
Yep.
So that's why I don't want to give up my job.
No, and you don't need to give it up until your business can sustain you. Some people make that mistake. Some that, there's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to do this full time. And their business cannot sustain them, and then they give up. You don't ever want to do that. You want to make sure that you have at least 3 months of your business that you're working on hand that is sustainable 3 months in a row. Once you have that, then pretty much you're set.
Do you want mine?
Well, I feel like I'm behind the 8 ball so far that I don't even see the playing field. I started like a week ago, and so much of this conversation has either chased rabbits, or if it has talked about the business, I'm so far behind that it's hard for me to grasp and understand this. I can understand those that pulled out. I feel like, did I get into the right thing or the wrong thing?
Oh, no, you are fine. There's people here from all different levels. And so I just answer questions as they pop up. So if you have a question, please don't let this get overwhelming to you. Let me know.
Well,
I promise I will go over it.
You have to have some knowledge about it in order to ask a question. And I feel like, I can't think of a question to logically ask.
Hold on. Please mute yourself in the background.
That's a relief.
I know.
All right, hold on.
I've been doing that all day.
This is important to me.
All right, here we go. All right. So I had to unmute somebody real quick. All right, so if you were the one asking the question, please unmute yourself because there was a lot of background noise and I could not hear you.
Well, I may have started this conversation. This is Micah, and I said I've been into this maybe a week. And, as far as what do I ask, I don't know. I haven't grasped enough yet to think of a good question, except where in the world do I start? I haven't figured out where the starting line is.
Okay.
And so I feel a little bit perplexed and questioning myself if I can do this.
Oh, you can. Trust me, you can. And
I'm retired.
Okay.
And I'm not taking retirement very well. And so I need something to do, and I need something that's going to be profitable at the same time. And this seemed like something, but like I said, I'm so far behind the 8 ball, it's hard to come up with a question except where is my starting line?
And I got that next. That is actually how to get started and writing and modifying your pages. So that's my next to do after I go over this one, because there's like 3 or 4 people that need that. So we'll be going over that too. So just hold tight. And like I said, if once we get through something where that I'm going over and you need to have questions about it, please jump on and let me know.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this is my business card for those that was asking, that I made with Canva and with Avery. So I created the business card on Canva and then transferred it to Avery to print it. And it's just basic. It has my logo, my icon that I use for my heritage, Native American. It has my website name. It also has my website address. It has my Google Voice number for those of you that keep getting kicked off for Google Voice. This is a way not to do that. Don't use your personal number. Use your Google Voice number for them to call you. I have my Instagram, and then I have my email for them to contact me. And then I have my direct sellers. Oh, where did that go? That was an old one. I lost it. No. It's cycling through my pictures now. So it has my anchor offers, which is my wine. And then it also has my Valentis, my direct link to my Valentis. I do not put web pages on here because I have my website. I want them to go to my website. So that's basically what I hand out. And then there's different templates that you can buy, blank templates. I actually have one that's for tags that you put, like people use at flea markets for pricing tags. That's what I use because it has the hole at the top. That's what I use to put on my wine bottles for when I give them out. So there's several different things that you can use to do that with. So the next thing that we're going to go over
get her some of that
is we have a lot of people that are wondering, how do you go through and modify and edit a page? You know, where do I start? Now, everybody should have gotten okay, I got some foul language that's not muted. Please mute yourself. I don't want that on my recording. So everyone should have gotten this link, rrr247.com/RRR. This is the basic information on how to get started with your website. It actually has it broken down step by step by step. And when you come to it, it will look like this. And it says, first, go here. Okay, I have some background noise. Please mute yourself if you have background noise typing on your computer, moving around, anything like that. Please mute yourself so I don't have to mute everybody. It's got step 1, step 2. You want to register with emails from Rory so you can be on his direct email list. And then it has step 1, how to go in and start modifying your pages. Get with the instructor on your anchor offers and, you know, just follow it step by step. Now, a lot of people's like, well, I really don't know how to modify a page. So we will do that today. And I'm going to pull up, like I said, my first page. And Paul has quite a few of these on his website too, these videos on how to actually modify a page.
Sheila,
Uh-huh.
can I put in a handy tip? Because I've done it wrong so many times.
Yes, ma'am.
Whenever you modify a page, even if it's not done, update. Every single thing you do, update so that it saves it. Because I have lost stuff and had to recreate it. And
oh, yeah. You need to update every couple of paragraphs just for that reason. You don't want to lose anything. So we're going to come here to Australia. And I haven't done this one since they finished and went from pre-enroll to actual live delivery. So I know that it's been a basic edit. When I say basic, I only did my 50%. I don't think I've ever come back to it to actually edit it. So we're going to come to this page and we're going to do quite a few different things here. We're actually going to do modifying an article or a paragraph, and we're also going to show you how to incorporate pictures. Now, somebody said that they had tons of pictures in their Dropbox and they want to get them into their media library, but they don't want to do it every time they need to add one. So this is how you're going to do that. You're going to open up 2 tabs of your website, one that you're working in, and then you're going to open up another one. And this is going to be the one that you're going to use to add your media with. And so once you get there, it's going to pull up your dashboard, depending on how you have it saved. And you're going to come here to where it says media, and you're going to come to new. So you're going to hit add new. So once you do that, you want to make sure that you have your Dropbox pulled up for where your pictures are stored and the pictures you want to transfer over. Okay, and you want to minimize it so that you can see different ones. All right, and you want to go to add new.
Where was that?
In your media. See right here, your media?
Yeah.
And it pulls up your library, but you want to go to add new. And it's going to tell you to drop the file here, or you can select the file. So either way you want to do it is fine. And I'm actually going to drop a file. So if I see one that I haven't used in a while and I want to put it in my website, then all I have to do is just drag and drop it.
Not a file or a picture, Sheila. I think it's not a file.
Well, a picture, same, yeah. If you have a picture, just drag it and drop it over there where you want it to place.
I find a file would just, and you can't move them around. Once they're there, you can't.
Yeah, you can't put them in any kind of order, no. So, see, I'm just going to drop it. And you can see right there where it added it. So then you can see that picture's there. And then if you see another one you want to do, you're going to get this one and pull it over. And it puts the name, it's copying it. And then it's going to tell me that it's there. So it's got Diet logo. And see, I always name my pictures because if you go to save as when you find a picture, always click save as because then you have the option to do 2 things. You can save it in a particular file or folder, plus you can name that picture. You can assign it a name to distinguish it exactly what it is. So I can, like this one, I got cricket weight loss. So I know that's my cricket that I'm using for weight loss. You know, this one is DIY pups. I know that's going to be for my puppy bed that I have. So you always want to make sure that you have those options so that if you do just have your icons there, at least you have a description of what that picture is to help trigger maybe, you know, exactly what that is referring to. Same thing here with no, I don't want to open it up. And if I just want to go to a different folder, and I'm going to go to, let's go to my native culture. So I'm going to open that. And again, it's got the view. I want the large icons. And it's going to open them up for me. And so I'm just going to drop that over here and copy it. And as you can see down here, it shows my child warrior because that's how I have it named in my picture. Again, I want to come here. This is my Lumbee Pride. That was at our Lumbee homecoming this year.
I have a friend who's in the Lumbee tribe.
That's my tribe. Okay, I'll copy that one twice, which is fine. And let's see, I want to do right here. This is one of my friends. His daughter was actually in a Native American dance competition. She was dancing. Beautiful regalia she wears. Oh, come on. So it's uploading my new pictures.
You point at the picture and it doesn't
dragging and dropping.
But it doesn't literally drag.
Yeah,
right?
no.
So
Now, if you see it's, and it'll say copy, you see the picture and it says copy, because you're just dropping your copy image in there, and there it shows your images. So there's that one. And then if I come back here to my website that I'm working in, give it a few minutes, and I go to my media, and I go to my media library, those pictures should show up. And because my computer's really slow right now, they may not be there, but give it a few minutes and they should show up. But see, there they are. So that's how you can add media to your library without actually putting it in a box. In a page. You can actually add it through a media library. If you're not creating a page and you just want to open up your page and add media to it, you would do it the same way. You just, find wherever the file, folder, or wherever your picture is on your system, and just drag it over here, and click it and copy it straight to it, and it will assign it and it'll be there.
Hey, Sheila, is first of all, I've only ever dumped pictures into one folder, and those are the ones, the icons I can't get. So I need to go back and rename every single thing, but what or how do I label it? And my other question is, I have found pictures from other sources and put them directly into my blog. They're not in my Dropbox.
That's fine. You don't have to put them in your Dropbox. If you put them directly into your blogging pages, it's in your media library. As long as you don't remove them from your media library, which I don't suggest you do, then they'll be there in your library for you forever.
Where is the media library?
Right here.
Oh.
Yep. In your dashboard, it's right up on the post.
Oh, in the dashboard. Okay.
Yep. In your dashboard. Okay. And then if you want to name them, you just click on your picture. If you right-click your picture, it should give you a list. And you can, one of them is rename. And you just hit rename, and then this will highlight, and then you can rename your picture. See, it gives you a list. At the very bottom, it says rename. You click on rename. It highlights the box, and then you can rename your picture. And then that way you can give it a name that you can remember that relates to that particular picture. Okay? So let's go back to our Australia page. And I always tell my students, before you start modifying a page, you need to read the whole page. It doesn't do you any good to try to modify a page when you don't know what's on that page. Yeah, Australia's talking about Australia wine, but what is it talking about? What is it relating to? So you're basically flying in the dark. Read your page. Find out what it's talking about, because it might trigger something that you want to write about along the same lines, but maybe a little bit better. And that's the whole key thing, is you want to write it better than what it's there, or at least make it sound more like you talking, carrying on a conversation with someone else. That's the whole point of modifying and editing page, is you want to put it in your own words, how you would speak to somebody or how people relate to you. It's not about trying to make it sound like Paul or Rory, or trying to make it sound professional, or trying to make it sound how the company wants it to sound. You're writing a page or modifying a page based on how you talk and how you relate to people. I'm country, but I have 3 degrees. Do I want my country twang to come out in it? Sometimes I do. A lot of times I do. Do I want to show my professionalism? Sure, I can do that too. It's all about how you present your page, and you can't do that if you don't know what the page is talking about. So always read your page from top to bottom before you even get started, so that you have a general idea of what the page is about. Now, as you can see, I have color everywhere in my pictures, in my wording, in my backgrounds. There's color. That's determined by the box I use, or the block I use to write with. And the way you can determine that is if you click on the box, up at the top, it will tell you what kind of block you're using. So this one is a paragraph block, okay? But because I did this before we converted, actually some of my pages right here, or some of my wording is in a different color. If I went in and linked this, it's going to turn it to blue, and I can't get it to change. All right. So, but what I want to do is I want to change this because I want to retain that color. So I'm going to click on this plus button, and I want to add a new block. And since I want to do it in Classic, Classic is the only format that you can use to change text color.
Quick interruption there.
Yes.
What was that YouTube I saw further up there? How did you get that in there?
YouTube, where?
It was in your formatting.
Oh, you can actually, there's a format. A lot of people just see when they go here, they just see their most used.
Yeah.
There is actually several different topics up underneath there. And one of them is your embeds, where you can get your YouTubes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I never looked that far.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, look at all those. The ones we don't use a lot is your widgets and the Yoast blocks. We don't use that. A lot of the layouts, you can use some of those if you want to do columns. If you want to do, that's where you get your different page breaks, your buttons. Just remember,
those I've used.
Yeah. So yeah, when you come down here to your embeds, this is where you get your embed codes for your YouTube, for your Twitter, your Instagram. If you want to link Instagram, your Instagram, you just click on these icons. Like with me, I have a YouTube channel. If I want people to look at my YouTube channel, I will click on this YouTube embed, and I can put my embed code for my YouTube channel. If I want people to follow me on Instagram and I want it on my Instagram page, then I just click on this Instagram embed, and I can put my Instagram link in there for them to follow me on Instagram. Same thing with Twitter, Facebook, you know, any of these Vimos. Direct Sellers uses Vimeo for their recordings, so you can go on there and get their Vimeo embed and put on there. But all these are different social media outlets that people can use. Read It on that one, you know, if I want to put my Read It program on there, you can do, there's Tumblr, that's another one that I use. So if you use any of these social media outlets and you want it to be on your page, you just come to this embed and you can put it in there. And it'll be on your page for them to follow. But if you haven't used any other blocks other than your paragraph and your image blocks, then you want to come and search some of these. So I know that Classic block's going to be in formatting. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to click on my Classic. Also, you have your HTML codes in there that a lot of people will use if you want to use a table in your program or in your page. You know, some people like to use tables to explain, you know, different percentages and different things like that. You can actually create a table. So I'm just going to use Classic, which I chose here. And
Sheila?
Yes.
Did you get to that blue plus by hovering?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
On any of the lines, top and bottom of a paragraph, you will get that block. If you don't see it or it doesn't come up, just put your cursor anywhere near that, and you can actually click this plus button up here. It will also do the same thing, add a block.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So, yes. Okay, so now what I want to do is, because I'll have this in Classic block, I'm going to go, and I know this talking about Australia wines, how it's pre-launched is over, talking about getting wine in, you know, join the, I know what this is talking about because I've already come and done a little bit. It looks like I think I stopped here because I can see that it's not much has changed. So, and this is the other thing you can do is you can always just do half a page and come back and do the rest of it later. So I'm just going to come here and start here.
May I add one thing?
Yes.
Especially for the new ones. You guys, you instructors, Paul especially, can crank stuff out like I can't. And I go on a page and note the topics that they are discussing in each paragraph. I make a list of them, then I go out on the web and I start researching the subject. And I want to find other things to talk about to make it my own instead of just rewording what they say. It takes me longer, but it makes it my own page too.
And that's a good thing too, but it would be easier to modify what's there and then create a whole new page on your research you've done. It takes up less time. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're doing all that research just to modify your page, then you're basically losing the content, because what you want to do is see that this is a template and we're showing you how to go about and modify stuff and just use what's there. And then if you've done the research and say, okay, I've done the research, I can put this and this and this and that. If you've created everything is totally new, it would have been better for you to go ahead and create a brand new page and just use this to learn how to do modifications and create your own page. And then that way you're one less page away from getting Google AdSense and your original content.
I know I did research on the video games because I know nothing about video games, and I don't have a son who likes them or anything like that. So I had no, in order to modify what Rory's template had, I had to go to Google and Google video games because I didn't know any of them.
Yeah, but still just use the terminology, and see, that's what I'm getting ready to do, is I'm using the terminology that's there and putting it in my words. If you're researching to the extent that it's taking you hours and hours to find stuff,
not that long,
new page and use your research to create your new page and do it that way. Don't put all your research on modifying a page. You're modifying this page just to get the directions on how to modify, getting comfortable with modifying and changing words and adding words, making sure your Yoast is good. So that's the whole purpose of modifying and editing a page. If you're spending hours on doing research on how to modify a page and you've gotten all this new content, create a new page with that content. Okay. Don't use it in your modifications, because then you've basically created a whole new page based on your research, but it's still in the template. So if you've done that much research on it, use what you can in changing the verbiage and what's there, but then use the research you found to create a whole new page. That's what I've done with my wine that I've researched on. I've created new pages. I've got several new pages on, how to start a business with wine, how to get your 3 and free, the properties of wine, how to choose the right wine with the right meal. And it's just based on my research. I didn't want to put that in my fine wines page because then, that's it, I'm done. I used some of it to put in there. I also did one on how red wine can be beneficial to patients with different types of, issues, coming from a nursing background, that kind of helped out a lot of things. I could talk from the medical side of it. So there's different things that you could use, but you don't want to use everything in your template. You want to use some of your stuff, the majority of your new stuff that you've researched, to create your new pages with.
What about the ones that are just lists? Like there's lists of games and then lists of video games. And
lists are just that, list. Change the list around. If games are there, if the games are no longer there, take them out. If the games are still working, if they were the first one, put it in the bottom one. If it was the first name mentioned on the list, put it on the last name.
I did do that.
Yeah. You don't have to know about each game. People that game, they know about the games. You don't have to explain it to them. All you have to do is say, is this game still available? Oh, it is. I'm leaving it. Change your list around. Don't put them in a list. I've got things that were in a list. I didn't put them in a list. I just put them in paragraph form and said, okay, this game, is still available. This is what it's about. We also have this game. If you are interested, here's a selection of different games, and just list them in a paragraph form. You don't have to, just because it's in a list, ... or 1, 2, 3, 4, you don't have to do the same thing. You can actually put them in a paragraph form and have commas after each one, or break it up and put, oh, you're into, action. You want more action and adventure. Here's some more games along that line, and then list those games. We got, quest for whatever, blah, 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 blah. Oh, that's not to your liking? Well, hey, what if we try this? You know, here's some more games that you like. Or you can go to this website and find all the games you want and then list your site or your link or whatever. But just because it's in a list on the template does not mean you have to keep it in a list when you modify it. You can change it up.
Thank you. That helps
Welcome.
a lot.
Yeah. So I'm going to change this here. Now here's my original content, and you want to keep the same theme as much as you can when you're writing. So I know this page is an ad. It's basically all it is. So I want to keep it as an ad. I don't want to go in and start talking about different recipes. I don't want to go in and start talking about what pairs well with this. I know this is just an ad to let them know that Australia is open to get wine. They're no longer in pre-launch. So that's what I want to stick to. And because I want to make sure that I can change my coloring at will, I put it in a classic block. So that's what I'm going to do. And, you know, write how you would talk to people. And you want to include your title somewhere in the first. They want it in your first sentence. You can't always be in the first sentence sometime, but you want to be able to put it in there somewhere within the first paragraph.
Sheila, can I just say one thing, that you cannot change the color of your title?
No, this cannot change. That's programmed. That's pre-programmed. That is the only thing you cannot change. Anything else in your page is up for debate.
I just did that for 20 minutes when I was just starting.
Yep. Yep. So you cannot change that. That's the one thing you cannot change is the title. Anything else is up for debate. So yeah. So we can change this around. If I do want to put that on there, that's fine. I can do that too. So let's do that. It's as easy to change. Is that a period? Period. All right. So I have all the key points right here. Same thing. It's just reworded. The Australia Club has arrived. Direct sellers come straight to your door. It's a wine club. You can get it straight from you. So basically I have the same information here, but it's in my own words. So guess what? I'm done with this one. I'm going to click on it, get these 3 dots, and I'm going to come down here and click remove that block. I don't want that block in there anymore because I'm done with it. So now what I want to do is get my link. And so I'm going to come down here. It's just real simple. I'm going to click on here. And there's my link. I'm just going to copy the link here. Copy link address. I'm going to come back up here. And I'm going to highlight this right here. I'm going to my link to button right up here. I call it my paper clip. I'm going to paste my link in there. I'm going to hit my settings. I'm going to open it in a new tab. And then I'm going to update. Now, because I have this in classic, I don't want it to be blue. Remember, I had it in red. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to highlight. If I can get that to go away. And because my computer's a little slow. So I'm going to highlight this. And I'm going to click on this little A right here, which is my text color. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to choose my red. And then I want it bolded so it stands out. So now, not only do I have that color highlighted, but I'm going to come back down here and I'm going to put another link. Get fine wines from all over the world. And I like using phrases instead of just single words, because sometimes if you have a big paragraph or wordy paragraph is what I call them, one little word that's highlighted or a link can get lost. So I always like to use phrases. And I'm going to keep with the same color theme, red and highlight, and then bold.
Sheila, you see where it's dropped down because you were saying your machine is slow. That happens to me, and my Mac is not slow. And I guess just ignore it and change the color.
Yep, and it'll catch up. Mine's just really slow because we are having a storm here. And so, like here, this is a picture, and as y'all can see, some of you run into this. This picture is spanning 2 different blocks. So if I go in and remove this block, this picture will not necessarily move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to open up a new block. And I'm going to do classic because it's got color. And I'm going to paste that in there. And then I'm going to remove this. And you see my picture just dropped down, all right? So now I have my block, I have this picture, and I don't want this picture. So now this picture is actually in a media text block, but I don't want this picture, so I'm going to remove this picture. So now my image has gone. So now I have these 2 blocks here, and I can come back later, but I still want to add an image. And since I know that this right here is a classic block, I can actually put that picture anywhere I want it. So I'm going to come back here and I'm going to put my cursor at the end of this first line. Okay, and I'm going to come up here to where I have my media icons. It looks like a camera and a music note. That means you can add video or pictures from this link. So I'm going to click on that and it's going to pull up my media library. And this is where you can come and say, okay, what pictures do I have in my media library that I can use? And you can scroll down. If you have a template from Roy, you have several wine pictures that you can use in there. They're usually at the bottom. But like me, I have several other ones. So I'm just going to come here and select a file. And I'm going to pull up my media. And it's always going to go to the last file I was in. I don't want to do my logo picture. So I'm just going to click on blogging pictures. I'm going to go to my wine folder that I have. It's going to take a minute to catch up. Okay. And I'm going to click on wine. See what I have in there. Let's see, what do I want? I got a lot of Christmas stuff in there. So let's lose this one. Oh, do I want to use that one? That's too.
While you're picking a picture, I found a neon sign with arrows pointing to the right, and I wanted to say to the right, you know, go here for whatever. And I could not get that to move from the top of the picture to the middle of the picture where it would line up with the arrows.
You probably won't if it's a copy picture. When you copy a picture, it comes in just the way you copied it. You won't be able to modify it. You'll have to create your own.
No, I don't want to modify the picture. I want to try and get the words to line
up. That's
up.
modifying. Even though it's a picture, if you're changing anything on that picture, you're modifying it.
No, but they're my words beside the picture.
But where did you get the picture? Did the picture already have the arrows and everything on it?
Yeah.
Then you can't change that.
No, I don't want to change the picture. I just want to put words beside it that make sense.
You probably have to use a program to get it to line up exactly right, or change your font to get it to line up.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So here's my picture that I want to add in there. It's still a little bit big because this paragraph isn't that long, so we're going to change this. So I'm going to say, and most of the time I don't create a new block. I usually write in the block that's there unless it's one that I don't like. So right now I'm just going to write in the block that's here.
While you're writing, can I just, it's Constance.
Mm-hmm.
We're in classic block.
Yep, it tells me right here what block I'm in.
Oh, sorry. The picture, I can usually make a little bigger, or you can't do it here?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Oh, and then the words will fall in a different place.
Mm-hmm. It all depends on the placement of my picture, but only in classic.
Right. I thought the woman was asking, if you change the picture, make it bigger, sometimes the words will
change position.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can only get them directly from the seller.
Yeah. Well, I put Thenia because we want to stay away from the word seller. Because then they think that's what you are, and we're not. We're wine club membership. Okay, so now I've done that one. And this picture now looks really small compared to the amount of content I had. So I'm gonna come here, and you see how these corners pop up? This is how you change the setting of that. So I'm just gonna come here and expand it. Let's see if that is bigger. Come back here, make it a little bit bigger. All right. I don't want this bolded. Okay, and then I don't want this bold. I do want that bolded, but I don't want it bolded black. Okay. All right, so there is that. And then to link my picture, again, I'm just gonna go up here and pick my link. I'm not gonna go back and try to search for a link. I've already have it because I've done this page before. So now I'm gonna link this picture. And since it's in Classic, the link's gonna be a little different. It's actually pulling up the toolbar over the picture. So I just click on this little edit pencil, and it's going to pull up my image details. Again, you always want to put your alternative text, which this one is Australian Wine Club. And we're going to do a link to. You always want your link to be in a custom URL. And then I'm going to paste my URL there for my direct sellers. And then our advanced options, your image attribute is going to be the same thing. And some people ask me, why you do an image attribute? Because if you do just an image attribute, then you also want it to be directed by a keyword, because some people will go in and just search images. And if you don't have your image linked to anything, it won't show up. So you always want to make sure your image is also linked, not just your alternative text. Your alternative text shows up when they actually are looking for text information or content. Then your picture will show up with your text. But if they're just looking for images, if you don't have your image linked with your alternative, with your keyword, then it won't show up where it needs to show up. And then you want to make sure you hit open link in a new tab, and then we're going to update.
Sheila, when you touched custom URL, did the link automatically come up, or did you have to?
No, you have to put your link there. So when you come to your picture, most of the time, if it's a brand new picture, it's not going to have this. It's going to have either a media file or it's going to have none. So you always want to make sure that your picture is a custom URL, is your link to. And then a lot of times, as you saw with mine, it pops up blank except for the HTTP. Just get that out of there and then just paste it, your link right over it. And then that will put your link for whatever program you're sending them to.
Since I'm new, I don't have many links. So where do I get them?
You should. You should have access to your CJ. You should have access to your Brunette Marketing. You have access to your ClickBank. That's in your R training. So that's why I was saying, when you go to that R training, read through everything, follow all the steps. Once you got your pages modified, then at the, I think it's step, I can't remember which exactly step it is. It tells you to sign up for your Brunette Marketing, sign up for your CJ, sign up for
one or two. I've done that already. And what I think is interesting about what you're doing is that if you listen to Rory's videos, which everybody should, he often says, avoid red, orange, blah, blah. He's got his choices. He likes blues or purples, but you're using red or whatever color you want.
Yeah, it's my website.
So, yeah. So he says that, but you can do what you want.
Yeah. And the reason, and it just depends on certain aspects of it, that's a color that, depicts certain things. My thing is, I like color. I don't like bland things. And I think the bolder the color, the more it stands out and draws the eye. But it's your site. That's why you have your template that you get. You go in and modify it. By the time you get halfway through modifications, you will find your own niche. You'll find the way that you like to write. You'll find the way you want to structure your website. that's why we say use that. And if you come across something that you want to write about on yourself, create a new page and put the title in and start it in draft. But, you know, modify the pages that are there, and just, you know, if you have to pull up a thesaurus, pull one up. If you have to get a dictionary to sit beside you, pull that up, you know, and just change different phrasing until you get comfortable modifying your page. Yes. And then, you know, all that research you've done on other stuff, create new pages with that, because you need that for Google AdSense. You need those new pages, 8 to 10 to start off with before you even attempt to apply for Google AdSense. You need that many of original content that has, you know, I'm not going to say nothing to do with content that you have in there, because you're going to be writing about your wine. You're going to be writing about your Valentas. You're going to be writing about clothing, computer, you know, stuff that you already have in your system. You're just going to be writing about the research that you found, you know, and create your own. You're going to have your own title. You're going to have your own structures. You're going to have your own pictures that you found, or pictures that you've taken in your yard, or pictures that you've taken, you know, of things that you like. You know, it's going to be yours from top to bottom. Just like I have my pages that are mine from top to bottom, just based on research that I've done. But you want to be able to use the information that's here, you know, and just learn how to modify, how to come up with different wordings and different phrases for things, so that when you do create your own, it makes it a lot easier to get that phrase you really want, and put it in your own words. When you're creating new pages, or even when you're modifying a page, think about your own life experiences. You can't do that if you don't know what the page is about. That's why I say read your pages first before you even start attempting modifying them, because it might trigger a memory that you have, or an experience that you've had in the past, or that you've, you know, talked about with other friends, family. You will have things that you can relate with what you're reading, and use that to help modify your page. Those that have writer's block is like, I just don't know where to start. Start with that. Read the page and think, what do I know about this? You know, who do I know that has anything about this? Have I experienced anything close to this? Do I have anything relatable to it? And if you don't, then use the words that are there, and just, like I said, get a thesaurus and say, okay, what's a different word I can use for this? That's something I would say. And use that. And you want to go through each paragraph and change it that way. Even changing your pictures out modifies your page. I've had people, you know, have created tons and tons of pages, modified it, you know, 60, 70, 80%, and never once changed the pictures, and go and apply for Google and get denied. And it's like, why did I get denied? And I go through and look through their pages, and it's like they're using the same exact pictures in the exact same place. You know, and you don't want to do that. Even modify your pictures, take them out. There's several pictures on Google that you can download into a document, you know, download into a folder, put them straight into your media file. There's several different ways that you can, you know, make your system your own. If you have ideas, jot those ideas down on a piece of paper, or even, you know, start a new page and create a title and put it in draft, so that it will trigger your memory later when you come back and look at your draft and say, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to write about. And just write about it, your experiences. Don't worry about putting a link in it right off the bat. Just write, get your modifications done. Don't worry about a link. If there's a link there, just unlink it. If it's not your link, just take the link out and just write. You can always come back later and put your link in.
Sheila, remember I was stuck a little bit, and you said, Constance, and you said you had a wonderful student. She had a flat tire and blah, blah, blah. And you said, write about it. So
exactly.
I just thought that was wonderful.
Yeah, write about life experiences. Just like with me yesterday, I totally lost it yesterday. I truly had a Friday 13th day yesterday. And I went to pick up my grandson from school, and, you know, they have the lines you line up in, and there's like 7 in each one. Well, I miscounted, you know, and I was the 8th one. So I hate people that, you know, just assume you're going to be there. So I was like, no, I'm going to go ahead and get back in line. Well, everybody saw my dilemma, and they started backing up so that I could pull back in, except for this one jerk. And excuse me. And he sat in his truck, and he was grinning at me, like, and I said, no, back up so I can get in line. He said, no. Oh, I lost it, you know. And I was like, Okay, so I'm backing my truck up, and I'm looking at him, not paying any attention. You know how they have the pylons, the cement pylons? Back my truck right in down the side of my truck. And I heard it going, I was like, oh God, what did I do? So instead of me being the smart person, and just getting out of the way, I drive around the block because 1, I had to cool off, and 2, I had to go somewhere so I can park and see what kind of damage I did. And so I did that, took a picture, sent it to my husband, and came back and got in line. Well, guess what? 10 minutes had passed. Everybody and their brother that came and picked up kids was in line. So I was almost the last one in line. I'm always almost first, the first few people. So I'm sitting here just stewing and just thinking about how stupid I was to let somebody get the best of me like that. So now I got all this damage to my truck for being stupid. So I got that written down on how you let other people affect your attitude. That's the title I've gotten. I've gotten it jotted down. I just don't know how I'm going to relate it yet. But, that's the experience that happened to me. And I posted it to one of the chat lines last night and had so many people, oh, my God, I've let that happen to me. Somebody picked me off and I did something stupid. So how many other of your experiences that you've had personally that other people relate to? That's what gets people coming to your website. It's not what you're advertising. It's what you relate to them. They will look at your ads as they're reading, but what gets people to come to your website is how you relate to them. Holly, you said you've been teaching for 35 years. Use your teaching ability and the subjects that you like, things that you like to teach about as your outlet to creating your pages, as an outlet to modifying your pages. Use your experience. Miss, who was it that said, Miss Micah, you said you're retired, and you need something to do. So relate your experiences, what you did before you retired, how it's affected you now that you are retired and you're looking for something else. Write about your life experiences, write about, things that has gone on, things that you like, write about your hobbies, things that you're into. Like Bruce, he loves music. He sends me clips from music all the time, and he's been traveling all over the world. I keep telling him, you need to write about all your experiences.
I'm trying. I've started.
So, but that's the things. People are interested in people. They could care less about what you're selling. They will buy from you based on what they find interesting in your pages. And that's going to be your content. And they will read your content and then they will buy based on the fact that they know you based on your writing. So write what you know. Don't get so overwhelmed with, man, I got to modify this page. I can't write like him. Nobody writes like Rory. Nobody writes like Paul. Nobody writes like me. Nobody's going to write like you. That's why all of our pages and our websites are so unique. We make them about us. We make them about what we like. And we will draw like-minded people to our sites. And that's what you need to write about. When you're modifying your pages, that's all it is getting you into the habit of finding out who you are, basically, and the real you, not who you were when corporate had you. Because trust me, if y'all seen me 3 years ago, you wouldn't recognize me because I was always in my 6-inch stilettos with my dresses and my blazers. My hair was always done. I had my makeup perfect, jewelry, earrings. You see me now and I'm in shorts, or leggings and T-shirts and tank tops. My hair is in a bun or in a ponytail. And if I ever wear makeup, it's to go to church. We're on a date with my husband. So, the country girl came back, not the corporate, clone. So find out who you really are, who you really want to be, and bring that out in your pages. That's what you want. That's what relates to people. And yes, sometimes I let that corporate person come out because there are some things that needs that attitude. And trust me, you can switch. You've done it your whole life. My husband tells me all the time, he can always tell when I'm talking to business people because I lose my Southern twang. Don't ask me how I do it, but
how do you do that?
I have no idea, but he says I talk totally different. I don't know it. I don't pick it up, but he recorded me one time and I said, that's not me. He said, yes, it is. I did not even sound the same. but it's just a switch that flips depending on who I'm talking to. If I need to be professional or if I need to just be me, old country, and it just depends on how I relate to somebody. If I know this person needs that professional side, I can switch on that professional side. I can make sure my grammar is totally perfect. My twang is gone, and I pause at the right place, when a sentence that I need to pause. I breathe normally. I even stand different, he said. I don't know about that. But anyway, but it's all in how you relate, and put that on paper. Even though it's a computer monitor, it's still paper. Ollie said it the best. Those of you that was at DC or even in Dallas, those that are in DC, you can go listen to Ollie's training. He said the same thing. Our website is just the electronic version of us talking to people in person. That's all it is. Only difference is now we're using it electronically instead of physically talking to people. So put our physical manifestations on an electronic device. That's all we're doing. Does that make any sense to anybody?
Yeah, I just have a general question too. I mean, I have done what you said. I've used my music for things and also to introduce people to, like, there's a child prodigy out right now named Emily Bear, and I'd say Google her and listen to her music. She was discovered at age 2. She's 18 now and doing extraordinarily well. Orchestrations, jazz trios, you name it. Quincy Jones produces her. It's amazing. But what I want to ask you is, after you get your pages done, and you talked about submitting them to
Google
AdSense, and you should have 8 to 10 extra pages on anything you want.
Yes.
And also, do you have to already be posting ads?
Yes.
Okay.
Google wants to see traffic coming to your site. So that's why I always tell my students, before you start posting ads out, you want to make sure that your site at least has all your links in it for different ads, if you can do that. A lot of instructors say modify pages first. I tell my students, and it all depends on the instructor and their training. Our training says, get your site up and ready as fast as you can. My philosophy is the fastest way to get your site up and ready is to make sure all your links are yours. Go to your CJ, go to your ClickBank, go to your Brunette Marketing, and find those links that need to be put in your website and get all those links done. You can do them in a weekend. Get all your links put in and make sure they're not Roy's, they're not your instructors, they're yours. Then you can come back and modify your page. That way, once you get finished the page and you need to market it, which means you're putting it on those free ad sites, then if they decide to start shopping, even though your page isn't completely modified, you got people to shop in your site and they find something they like and they click it, it's your link. You're getting paid for it. Not Rory, not Paul, not me, or whoever your instructor is. The template itself is still basically a template, but if you're advertising, you want to make sure that every link in your site is yours monetized. And, you need to get with your instructor to see how they want to do that. That's how I tell my students, your pages are going to be there for you to modify always, but your links you need, especially if you're starting to advertise, you don't want to be advertising a page that's coming to your system and then your system isn't complete with your links, because they might find something they want to shop for and it's on your system, but it's not your link. So, but get with your instructor first to find out how they want to do that. But that's how I tell my students, get all your links done first. You can come back and modify after you do that. But you could get your links changed easily in a weekend. So, but yeah, just keep writing. That's the one thing you want to do is just, write from your heart, write from your experiences, even when you're modifying a page and changing pictures out. Find things that you relate to. Those that know me know I'm a cartoon fanatic. So you will find throughout my system little cartoons thrown in here and there. It's not going to be weird for you to see a Bugs Bunny thrown in here, or, see a Jiminy Cricket, or Wile E. Coyote. I just like cartoons. That's me. So, it's not unheard of for him or them to be throughout my web system. But that's me. That's my trademark. I always have been. I've always been an avid reader. I've always loved cartoons. I think they're the most honest thing out there.
I prefer Maxine because she's sarcastic like me.
Yes.
I let her do the sarcasm.
So we got one other thing to do is like with color. As you can see, I do have my headlines in color. Again, this is in a classic block. So as you can see, if I highlight this, it does show up in classic. And then all you do is when you come to your classic blocks, it's going to ask you, I don't know why it's showing up that, now it's showing up as a heading. But if you go as a classic block, it's still showing as a heading.
Sheila?
Uh-huh.
This is Gail. I was the one that asked about color.
Yes.
I went back to my computer where I had changed. It was in the fine wine delivered to your home.
Mm-hmm.
And where it indicates the countries available in Australia, blah, blah, blah. And I typed in and Canada, and that's when it threw it in black. And that is listed as a heading. So that may be the problem. That's why I couldn't find the...
Yeah, and if it's within that does have it as a heading. And you want to be able, if you can actually convert that whole thing into a classic block. Let me go there and I'll show you, because I had to add it to mine too. I actually created my own Canada page, and then Roy sent out the one, or said, here, I've done a Canada page. And I was like, man,
I typed in Canada, but I went, uh-oh, it's in black.
Yeah, and you can actually, like I did, change the block. So we can go there and I'll show you how to do that. Let me get to that page. And I'm just gonna.
One thing I find trouble with is that I have to go all the way back to the upper left, click on my PBS, find the category again, click on that, and then, you know, you have to find the place to make it edit page, and then you do that. By the time I've done all of that, it probably wasted like 10, 15 minutes.
Whenever you're working in your page and you're modifying a page and you want to always open two browsers with your page.
Okay.
That way you can work in, you use one for research and one that you're working in. Whenever I'm sitting down editing my page, that's exactly what I do. I have one that I'm working in that I'm editing, and the other one is the one I have, like this one, I want to upload media and I don't feel like searching for it. I have one that I just upload my media. If I have one that I want to search for a particular place to or title to add as a internal link, then I have it up. I just go and say, okay, where's my search? That way I'm not updating or saving as a draft and then coming out, going back in, coming out. I have two different ones here that I work off of each other.
Okay, great, thanks.
Mm-hmm. And you can open as many tabs as you want. Two should be good, but usually when I'm working on a page, I have both two pages of my site up, or two tabs for my site, and then I have a tab for my links that I'm going to get, either CJ or a marketing house, either CJ Brunette, ClickBank, or might have two of them up. And then I also have a link up or a tab up of where I'm going to market it to, like classifieds for free, US Net ads, AbleWise, wherever I'm going to market, social media. I'll have those up. So everything that I'm working on is right there for me to see. And sort of have them in line. Okay, I'm working on these pages. These usually will be together. And then I'll have my ad sites that I'm getting them from, and then I'll have my marketing site. So as soon as I finish one, I just click it off and start another one. And then I usually have my templates up. So I can go ahead and create my ad template and then be ready to go. So there's several different ways you can do it to make sure that everything is yours. So
yeah, Sheila, that brings up another question. For some reason on my computer, this is Gail.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I click on the tab, the other tab disappears. I can't toggle back and forth any longer.
That happens to me too.
Yeah.
Did you pay? What kind of program? What kind of system are you on?
I've got a Mac Mini.
It could be your check your resolution. on your Mac. It could be that your spacing's not big enough for it to be able to toggle that many tabs.
Okay.
And then you can also check and see how many tabs you are allowed to open. Some of them do have restrictions. I'm not very familiar with Mac. I'm actually tempted to go buy me a Mac just so I could get used to it.
Okay, I'll go check that. Thank you.
Yeah, but check your resolutions, and then it's usually in how you've got your screen set up.
And for anybody who's new and has a Dropbox and your mentor wants to put stuff in it and the file's too big so it won't go in, you can buy extra space in your Dropbox for very little per month.
Yeah, I think it's like $9 or $12 depending on how big it is.
Yeah.
How big of a section you get. Okay, I must have took mine out because I don't see it in here anymore.
I know, I was looking.
I know. I was like, where did it go? I did. But you know, we can do it with this one. You're going to do this.
Do you want me to give you my for you to pull up mine?
Well, I'd have to have your admin section. I don't want to do that.
Okay.
So, yeah. So what we'll do is, here's what you would do with it, and we'll do it the same way with this one. It's going to be highlighted like this, and more than likely it's going to be in a regular block because it changed it to black. So that's telling me that it's not classic. It's actually in a paragraph block. So all you want to do is just copy it like this. Copy that section. Okay. And then you're going to open up another block. Since all of this here is in classic, I think that's why it's the way it is. I did my whole page in section, and then it just kind of all put it together. So,
so I highlight it and change it to classic.
Yeah. You're going to highlight it, and then I'm just going to put it up here.
I don't know about you, but I think HTML is kind of The classic gives you so many options.
Yeah, I used to write in code all the time. So
my husband codes.
Yeah, that's what HTML is code. So what you're going to do is, and I'm just going to come up here and hit this plus sign, and you're going to hit classic block, and it's going to open a classic block, and you can open it right where you want to put it. This one's just going to come down to the bottom, and you're going to paste in that information that you had, and then you can just hit your, highlight.
Then I can change the color. Okay.
Change the colors back, and then delete the one that you don't want in there anymore. Just hit the three dots, and then just hit remove block down here.
Okay.
And it will get rid of it, and then that way you can go. Your links will stay the same. Everything will stay the same. You can just go in and colorize the way you want to colorize it. But just remember, Classic's the only one that you can do that with. The other one, if you are in a paragraph block, you either have to change all the wording or change the background, or you can change both. You can have one color background and your words have a different color, and then your block will be colorized. But you can't do individual words and phrase colorization in paragraph block. Only.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's see what we have in chat. Okay, that's fine.
Sheila, can I say something silly? It's Constance.
Of course.
I don't know, Phyllis, it looked like you were combing a dog that looks like it would be gorgeous. Weren't you combing your dog? No, there he is. Oh, look. Thank you. I just had to see that.
What kind of dog is it?
I think Phyllis stepped away.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, I got a message that she was. No, there she is.
She's on mute.
She's on mute. She's muted.
That's fine.
Okay, there you go. that was my lady. She's a labradoodle.
A
Labradoodle. I've heard that before.
So adorable. Thank you, Phyllis.
You're welcome.
What else do we need to go over? I think I've covered everything that we had wanted to talk about. So is there anything else that we need to go over, or that someone is still kind of fuzzy on that you want to be talked about?
Sheila?
Uh-huh.
Estelle here. Where do we find all the, what do you call it? All the Wednesday wine?
That is on Priscilla's now.
Okay, so she has from day one all the
No,
recipes.
I don't think she has from from the new one, yes.
The new ones, yes.
And I think it's
4Z28 or 4Y28 or
on
something.
that one, and then Roy and Tanya have it on their Wine Life page.
Oh, so they, all of from the new format that we're doing are either on Tanya's or
Yep, not Tanya's at home page, their YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put Priscilla's in the chat.
Okay.
And but their what is their wine page? Wineevents.com? No, shoot. What is there?
Wine and Dine.
No, it's called the Wine Lifestyle or the Wine something like that.
Rory and Tanya.
Rory and Tanya. Yeah.
So they're gonna have all the videos because I'm cooking this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. You're cooking Wednesday. I can't wait to see. So
I hope you like it if you ever try it.
Yeah. And I love to cook, so I got to figure out when I'm gonna put mine on there because I really want to. Because I'm like you. I'm actually gonna have to do it at somebody's house that's actually gonna be drinking the wine because I don't want to be on there and not drink.
Well,
I don't want to deter anybody.
You get the smaller chicken breast with the bone in, skin off, and then it just falls off the bone, and you even want to almost eat.
We do get sidetracked and talk about things that we don't normally have to talk about, but that's the thing. You know, I'm here to make sure that you get what you need, and if that means you need a little bit of socializing, then we'll socialize, but we'll always come back on track.
I have a question that maybe because of time you want to answer it next week, but it concerns the Dropbox. I do not use it really successfully at all. There's very few folders there. I just don't get it. So maybe next week.
No, we got a few minutes. It's not quite 4 o'clock. Ain't that right, guys?
Right.
Right, Sheila.
So this is my Dropbox. And you can come in and do Dropbox. You see I have all my folders. And
how did you make the folders?
When you open up your Dropbox, you get the same pane as you do anywhere else. And this one's actually in File. So you want to go to your home. Okay. And in your home, you can actually, pin, which they do pin quick access, which means you can actually pin a folder to this drop down right here so that you have it all the time. You can move documents from one folder to the other with this. You can actually delete, you can rename a folder. This is where you create your folders. And all you do is you click on that folder right there where it says new folder, and it will come up and it will say new folder. You see right here where I had one I made last week, and it's just a blank folder. And then once you get it in there, you just right click and you can rename it whatever you want to that you're going to use that folder for. And just like with me, I have my, let's go back. I want to open a folder. So I have here, this is my blogging pictures. And in my blogging pictures, I know when I come to this is going to be all the pictures that I have personally gotten from Google or wherever I need to get them from, that I've made myself, that I use exclusively and mainly for my blogging site or my website. That doesn't mean that's all that's in there, but that I know if I pull up this folder, I'm going to be able to access anything that I've used in my website. And once you get in there, you can actually create folders within that folder and organize them. I was actually talking to another student the other day, and she had a really great idea. And I think I'm going to incorporate that with my templates, because you all know I got like 35 pages of templates. And she was wanting to know, can you structure them? Well, yeah, you can. It's just going to take time. But if you start from the beginning, then it's not very time consuming. So I can actually go here in my templates and create folders, which I'm going to do, and just have folders for wine template, folder for coffee template, folder for clothing template. And that way, when I want to advertise my wine, I can pull up my wine template and there's all my ads for my wine instead of having to search 37 pages, even though I have them, you know, all my wine in the same location. It just makes it easier that, you know, when I get ready to make a new template, I don't have to scroll through everything. So that's a really great idea. And I'm going to be doing that this week, is coming to my templates, and all of these templates here that are pages and Excel spreadsheets will actually be put in a folder. And you will see now folders like this, and one will be labeled business cards, one will be labeled, you know, cheat sheets, you know, for things or teaching material. I don't know how I'm going to label it, but it will be a little bit more organized. And that's another way to, you know, make your time valuable and use time management, is have everything organized and have them in folders so that you're not hunting through 25 different, you know, sheets that you've created to find the one that you need. So, but yeah, you can create folders within a folder. So it's not always cut and dry. So like for advertising, I'm actually created a folder just for advertising, because we do have some social media pages and things on there. And so I've gotten pictures for Facebook marketing. I've got pictures, you know, like for my DC, it's just taking my thing a little bit to catch up with everything. So yeah, it's downloading. So, you know, pictures for my hobbies and skincare, but these are pictures that I use for advertising. And then I will come through, and same thing with Bitcoin. I actually pulled pictures that I wanted for Bitcoin that are there, that is different from the ones Roy used, that I will use in my website. So if I know I'm doing something on Bitcoin, or I want to create a Canva picture for Bitcoin, then I have my pictures here to pull up. And it's just taking a bit for them to load up. And, you know, I can see my Bitcoin page and be able to go through and look at that. So you want to utilize all of your the information that you have and the access that you have. So if you have a Dropbox, then do that. You know, you can organize your pictures and just create folders. Just go to your home page and, you know, create folder, and then make sure you name that folder, so that when you get ready to get your pictures or start your templates, then you know exactly where to put it, and you will have access to it immediately instead of hunting everywhere. I have put everything in my Dropbox and have it synced with my Dropbox on my phone, so that whenever I want to do something for Instagram, then my pictures are right there on my phone that I've created off my laptop, because they're in my Dropbox, and I can just transfer them from my folder, from my Dropbox to my picture folder on my phone, and send it to Instagram. And that's the good thing about Dropbox, is you can sync it from device to device. Just make sure you log in with the same information.
I have two questions.
Mm-hmm.
Say that you name it down at the bottom, right? It says you can put in whatever name and then you click save, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. And then the other one was, how do you sync this Dropbox on your computer to your phone?
Just download, if you, depending on which phone you have, just go to the app download and download Dropbox. And then it'll ask you to do sign in, and you just sign in, and everything that you have in that in your computer Dropbox shows up in that Dropbox. They're the same. Dropbox is just a cloud format. It's just like a cloud. So wherever you download it and log in with the same information, everything will be there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go on my phone, would I go to the App Store to get Dropbox?
Wherever your App Store is. Some people depending on your phone that you use, you might have to use Google Play. I actually use mine's an iPhone, so I just go to the App Store.
Yeah, mine's an iPhone too.
Yeah, so you're just going to go to the App Store and look for Dropbox and just hit download Dropbox. It's a free app. And
that will actually download everything that I'm looking in your, in your Dropbox. It would download it all onto my app on my phone.
Whatever's in your Dropbox.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, as long as you sign in with the same information.
When you say sign in with the same information.
When you download the app on your phone, you actually have to click on it, and it's going to tell you to sign in.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will create a new Dropbox, and then it's like, well, it's different. So you want to make sure that when you sign into the Dropbox app, that you use the same information that you use to create your Dropbox on your computer.
So it can
They
sync.
sync. Mm-hmm. If you sign in and create a new address or sign in with something different, it's not going to be the same thing. So if you create a new account on Dropbox, then the two will be totally different. So you always want to make sure when you download that app and it says sign in, you want to sign in, not create. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. That really
You're welcome.
helped. That was good.
All right.
Sheila?
Yes, ma'am.
This is Gail. I forgot. What is the instruction for underlining a word? Control what?
Control U.
Control U.
Mm-hmm.
I did V. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, V's the paste.
Thank you for all your help. I hope your grandson gets to play ball tomorrow.
Oh, I haven't heard him, so I think he went back to sleep, so which is good. He was up all night, so he rarely gets sick. That's the thing. He's one of those that rarely gets sick. So when he was up at 2:30 this morning, I knew it was pretty
maybe
bad.
he'll recoup.
Yeah. So
I had migraines since I was a kid.
Oh, I have too. I still have them. I just go and get in the dark, and put the pillow over my head, and tell everybody they got to get out of the house.
I actually have to have medicine. I can't get through.
I have medicine, but I try not to take it because I get immune to medicine so fast because of my heritage. It's just part of our blood. We can't take medicines for very long. Mm. And I have a prescription that twice a year I can go get a morphine shot. And I try not to get that unless it's just really bad where I'm in a corner crying and I can't stop because it hurts so bad. But for the most part, if I can get quiet for a few hours, it'll calm down to where I can function.
I try to attack it when I first feel it coming on because I get the auras in my eyes and I know what kind of migraine it's going to be, whether it's tension up the back of my neck or sinus or whatever it is. And if I catch it early, then I have this little pill that just dissolves under your tongue and takes it away in an hour.
See, I don't have that because I have cluster migraines. One triggers another one. So basically I end up with seizures.
That's awful.
Yeah.
I had that once, a cluster headache, and it turned into seizures, and I was hallucinating in the ER, and I came to for a fraction of a second, and the doctor says, well, we could do a spinal tap. And I said, no. And they asked me again, no. And I said, no.
Yeah.
Apparently I hadn't been lucid before that, but I heard spinal tap and one.
No. I've had it all. So I just learned to deal with it. It was great when I had surgery and didn't have any feeling in my head because then I couldn't tell I was having one. But buddy, when that came back, I knew it.
Well, the cure that time, they gave me some Halidon or something. I don't know. But for 2 days, I could not sleep in the dark because as long as it was dark, the hallucinations would come over my head like this, like planes of color. And it kept me awake.
I never buy anything from you. I was like, what? And I went back and read it, and it sounded like I was standing in a corporate board meeting. It really was. When I stepped back from it and read it from somebody else's eye, it sounded like I was just presenting, presentation after presentation after presentation. And I had to step back. I was like, okay. And I took a couple of days and I was like, well, who is Sheila? And I pulled out old books. I called friends. I pulled out my high school annual, pulled out my college annual, and I was like, okay, where's this girl that's always grinning, always laughing, having fun? Where is she at? So I found me again, and I went back and redid my website completely again. And after I did that, I never forget, it was on a Sunday evening. It was actually almost Monday morning. And as soon as I finished it, I went ahead and applied for Google. The minute I finished it, I'm not going back through it. I'm not going to look at it again. I like what I've done so far.
Had you already been posting ads too?
Yes. I did when I said, because I didn't have to change my links. I went ahead and did all my links. If I couldn't find a link that was in there, if I couldn't find that exact link, I found one that was like it, and I modified based on the link I found. I didn't look for the exact link because sometimes you can't find them, especially on CJ. You have to be here for a while before you can get some of those approved for some of those places on CJ. So I found ones that I did get approved for, and I used it, and I modified my wording based on the new ad I got, and went out there and did that, and had all my links. And as soon as, because I went ahead and did all my links first, and then I print a page and advertise it, print a page and advertise it, finish a page and advertise it, go on all. And so by 3 weeks, I had, 3,000-4,000 ads out there because I would post it everywhere I could find. Social media, Instagram.
4,000?
Yeah. I have roughly about 50-60,000 links, ads out there, and that's not enough.
That's amazing, though. That's amazing. I mean,
if you take an hour every day or even 30 minutes every day, you'd be surprised how many ads you can get out there, especially if you already have your template done. That's why templates are the key. If you got your template done, all you're doing is copy and pasting.
So you made a template for one product, and then you were able to add it.
You
advertise it on different places.
Yeah. So here's one of my templates on one of my pages. This is the big one. I don't want to do the big one. I want to do the little one. Hold on. Because that's the first one I had. I'm going to show you the new one that I started. Let me go here and find my templates. And so this is the one I started in June. And this is how you should create a template. And it makes, when you do your advertising, posting, even to your social media, it makes it a whole lot easier when you have these templates, because then all you're doing is copying and pasting. You don't have to sit down and try to figure out what you're going to write. You already have it. So here's the template that I created, and this is for my relationship. I have 5 headlines, and I have 1 description. So I will change this headline and use this description, and I might come in and change this description a little bit, but then the next day I might come back and have this headline with the same description and change my pictures out, but I got 5 days of headlines here with the same description. Same thing with Bitcoin. Here's one I did for my vegan page that I wrote. Again, I got 4 headlines here, and I got 1 description. So I have 4 days of copying or of headlines that I have, and with the same description. And again, I might change it ever so often, but I also have my page that I want to advertise. So everything's right here. So I'm not going to my website for nothing. This is just strictly advertising. Here's one I did for the plus size fashions. I got 3 here. I can always make some more. And then this one, I actually have 2 different ones that I use. One's almost identical. I just changed a few things here. And here's one I did for the wine page I wrote, Discover the Perfect Wine. Again, I got 4 headlines, and I have 2 on this one. I have 2 different descriptions. So in this right here, I got 8 different topics I could write about. Wow. So I got these 4 with this description, these 4 with this description, and then I can mix and match these 2 descriptions and start all over again.
So your templates are not exactly like what the training says. The training says, 10 headlines.
I mean, you can have 10. I only have 4 right now. Okay. Like I said, you can add to them, but just to get started, you want to have, something. You don't want to just come here and have 1 headline and then say, okay, I got to use this 1 headline 50 times. You're going to do that, but then the next day, what are you going to do? Are you going to come back and do that same one again? No, you got a different headline. You can use the same document description, or you can change it a little bit, you know, with my other one that I have, my big one, like this one right here has 29 pages of different templates. And this one I put everything, like I got HTML code for videos that I want to put in there. I actually have, you know, some training, like for UK, who's, if I want to do my wine, these are the UK provinces that I can advertise to. So it actually has stuff. I always have where my no-ship states are, different things. Here's Tanya and Rory's YouTube. Y'all probably need that. I knew I had it somewhere.
Let me write it down.
This is their wine life YouTube video. Why didn't that send?
YouTube.be/. And then there's a space in it, LX and a space.
That's the way it come over, so I don't know. I just copied it straight from the YouTube.
Oh, I didn't get it. Hold on. Where is Tanya, Rory and Tanya? There it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's in there. And so I always, this one, it was the first one I did. It just has some basic information. And then I just started, you know, writing different things. So this one's kind of haphazard, all over the place. But it was my first one. And then like this one, it says, this is one that I've been doing. I just posted it in here before I started my other one. It has 5 different headlines. And it's got my website and my information I want. Here's the one I did for Canada. It's got 5 or 4 different ones I can do.
You didn't really, you just kept adding to the pages.
Yeah.
You didn't say, okay, that's page 1, put it in the template,
no,
make another one.
That's what I'm getting ready to do. And then it jumped, you know, I jumped down because this one, like I said, it's haphazard. I got, whenever I started or thought about something, I just started writing about it. So now that I'm a bit more organized, I'm going to go back and redo this and actually put them, like my student said, she got me to thinking when she said that. I was like, yeah, that makes a lot more sense than me searching through trying to find out exactly what I want to do whenever I create something. So, you know, again, it's just, I have all kind of different information in here and I just need to organize it, but they're all templates. Like this one's for my pet care. This is for WordPress. I'm actually an affiliate with WordPress. So, you know, somebody wants to get their own website and not come through Roar, they can do that. You know, movies, vapes, you know, just different things. I can come back and actually add new stuff to it and more headlines, but I already have my templates. I just need to add more headline to it. So there's different ways you can do it, but when I get ready to advertise, I just pull up these templates and determine what I'm advertising today. And then I'll go to my different websites. You know, I might spend 30 minutes in classifieds for free. Then I'll go over to AbleWise and spend 10 or 15 minutes there. But I schedule time to advertise every day.
So I could start advertising now, even though my blog's not finished.
Yes, I would definitely. Because if you go to apply for Google AdSense and you have not advertised, I can promise you're going to get denied.
Okay.
Because you have no traffic coming to your system, which they're going to look at and say nobody is aware of you.
Is there, is what you said about organizing your templates, is that the folder
Yeah,
ID?
put them in a folder and name your folder. If you're going to have wine templates, label them as wine. Coffee, you know, your Valentas, you can say Valentas templates or coffee wine templates, however you want to label them. Just put them in your Dropbox. That way, if you're sitting somewhere at a doctor's office, you know, or, you know, like with me sitting in the school line waiting for my grandchild, I can actually be posting ads because I can pull it up on my Dropbox, copy it, and go to my, you know, whatever free ad site I'm sending it to. Or if I'm on my Instagram or anything like that, I can pull it up and put it in there. So make use of all your time.
That's a tremendous idea.
Mm-hmm.
Sheila.
Sam.
Scale. You said to advertise before your page is completely done?
Well, with and that's why I say get with the instructor, because some of them are saying, you know, get your modifications done as you go. I tell my students, and I've always instructed my students, do all your links first, then come back and do your modifications. because then once you finish modifying a page, you can advertise it and not have to worry about somebody clicking on a link that's not yours if they decide to shop your system.
Okay.
So yeah, but get with the instructor and see what's best for your plan of action. But that's what I tell my students. Go through and get all your links done. And once all your links are done and and you can get all your links done in a weekend. Once all your links done, then you come back and modify. You don't have to worry about changing out links because your links are there. If you happen to change out a paragraph when you're modifying that has a link in it, you got your links throughout that whole page. You just go and copy your link again and put it in your new paragraph or a new picture. But at least your link's there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And where exactly? Sometimes I have trouble finding my link.
It just depends on what ad site you're in. So if I come up here and pull up my Google, again, I have my Google structure too. As you can see, I got tabs up here and files in my Google, and I have my marketing sites. So these are all the different sites that I can market. So I have my Excel Trip, I have my direct sellers, RoboForm, CJ. All of those are your ad sites or your marketing sites. These are where you can get your affiliate links from. You have your RoboForm. I don't want to do that. Don't cover up my form. So let me open a new tab so that won't keep happening. So I have these are all different places that I can market through that pays me. And they're, it's just places that I've found outside of the ones that are there. There's a bunch of them out there that you can get. And then I have, the Valenta, so that I can pull up my links. So it just depends on where you're marketing to. So like here with Excel Trip, say I want somebody to go to my Excel Trip and I want to get my links. So I'll pull up my Excel Trip and it's going to pull up exceltrip.com. And if you registered correctly, because some people don't register correctly with the Excel Trip, so get with your instructor to make sure that you registered correctly. I'm going to come here and sign in.
What do they mean by sign in with Facebook or sign in with Google?
Some places will let you sign in. If you ever do your, what is it called? This one. If you ever do your Response Magic, it has a code in there. Do you want them to register with your Facebook page? That's what this means, that they can sign in with their Facebook login information. You don't ever want them to do that. So I'm going to come here and log into my Excel Trip. That just means they can log in with their Google account information or their Facebook information instead of creating new stuff. And it just makes it easier.
You said you don't let them do the Facebook one?
No, don't let them sign up with Facebook on your Response Magic, because that only gives them their name. You can't get their email address or phone number with Facebook. You only get their name.
With Google?
Huh?
But you can with
Google either, but it doesn't give you the option to do Google on Response Magic. It only says Facebook. You don't want them to register with anything other than what you've put out there when you're creating your magnets for Response Magic. So I'm gonna come here to my AMP dashboard. And when that pulls up, it's gonna pull up my dashboard, and it's also gonna tell me my link. So right here it says share and earn. So I'll click on that. And then there's my referral link right there. So I have these tokens. I'm actually talking with Excel Trip because I want to transfer these tokens and move them so that they can actually start earning me more money. Because Paul made like $50-some thousand on his by investing them last year. And Excel token just went through the roof. So his token went from whatever he invested initially to right at $50,000 of money he has now sitting in there that he can convert to cash in a year. So I got to get these out of here and get them making me some money. So I'll be talking with them on how to get those. We're actually talking on how to get them converted. But this is what you want to do, and then there's your link, and that's the link that you will post wherever you have Excel Trip. Excel Trip should be listed under Alternative Travel Solutions, I think it is, on your webpage. Is where you're going to put Excel Trip.
Oh, I see. Referral link.
Yep, referral link. And every program that you sign up for should have a dashboard. Same thing with your Brunette Marketing, same thing with your CJ, same thing with your ClickBank. CJ works a little different because each program within CJ has its own referral link or its own link. So you just have to determine which one of those that you're marketing on your link. So that's where you will find your links. They're all just different places. We might actually do a class on that one day, maybe next week, on how to get your links. But again, just check with your instructor and see how they want you to progress with your pages. I always tell my students, and that's just, me, I give them the RR training, which is perfect. You can't, there's no going wrong with that. And just get all of your links done, get them out of the way. And in that way, when you come back to start modifying your wine page and your Valentis page, you already have your links put in there. And then get started with the V marketing, and then start with your modifications of each page in your system, and your links are done. And in that way, when you start advertising, every link in your system is yours. So if somebody starts shopping in your travel or your Bitcoin, and there's like, oh yeah, I've heard about Bitcoin, I want to sign up. When they go to click that link to sign up for computer, it's your computer link. It ain't Rory's. So you don't end up, having somebody sign up with Rory's computer link, and then you don't get credit for their mining. So that's just my preference. I tell my students, and I always send them, I have a homework sheet that I have made up for them that has all of my referral links so that they can sign up. I send it to them when I send them their website. So when I send them their first initial email that has all their website information, I also send them an attachment with my student handout, and it has all my referral links, and it tells them, to go in. And number one, I want them to sign up on my Response Magic page so that they will get into my student list so that I can send them updates in the email. And then I send them, then right below that, it has all my referral links that I want them to sign up with. And it just it has all of them on there, computer, Excel Trip, Sephora, everyone that's free. And then I'll tell them, go to the RR, it has the RR training, the Blogging for Rory training, and then it has the Keystone video. Watch the Keystone video, and we will discuss it when we, get back.
Yeah.
When we get
I've signed up with all my affiliates. It was one of the first things she wanted me to do, and I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And then she wanted me, I put it on an Excel sheet because it's easier for me than rubber form, and that I can just see them all in one place. And then she wanted me to make a copy of just the affiliates that I'd signed up with my username and password. So I sent that to her. And but when I did the training on it, they did those training videos a couple of years ago, three years ago or something. And when you go to the actual affiliate, it didn't look like that. So that got me a little confused, because I was like, how can I do this? And then I see like 7 or 8 of us, of direct sellers. And they're all at the top of the ad list. And I'm like, should I even advertise here?
Yeah, you still want to advertise, because even though a lot of people are using the same, again, like I said, it goes to preference. It's just bringing recognition, one, to the keyword. And then it's just a matter of you making sure that you have the headline and the description. People are going to choose based on their preference. So that's why it's important to make sure you got good headlines, make sure you have good advertising, because they will look based on what interests them. So you can have the same, everybody's got the same web link, just the number will be different, but the headline's what's going to catch them and get them to your site. So that's why you want to advertise, and advertise often.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry about who else is out there. You just want to make sure you're out there.
I just feel bad because I think sometimes, you know, I should be faster at this.
No.
I should be doing something else. I should be whatever. And,
no.
you know, it's like my husband says to me, you just relax. Just do it in your own time. You know, there's no rule out there that says you have to have it done by 3 months. There's nothing like that.
No. And like I said, as soon as you get finished, advertise your page. If you're proud of it and it looks good to you, advertise it. You know, go ahead and put it out there. You know, they'll come to your page and read it. And if they like it, they'll purchase from it. If not, they at least have you bookmarked where they can come back and see what else you write. People do that. If they like what they've seen and they may not be in the mood to purchase at that particular time, they'll bookmark a site that they like. So that's why, you know, but don't get overwhelmed. Don't overthink it. You're overthinking it, Holly. Don't overthink it. Just
I've heard that before.
Just do what comes natural, and don't worry about who else has what out there. You advertise your website. Like I said, there's 3.5 billion people on Google daily. Trust me. If we all have the same thing out there, somebody's going to see something somewhere. So we haven't even hit anywhere near the amount of people that we can hit. So, and then by us being able to go to other countries, that's just going to open more doors and more opportunities. So don't overthink it. Just go ahead and get your system, you know, ready and write about what you know. And do take that time off, because even Roy takes time off. He's off now doing a mastermind, but like he said, he's going to be on a yacht in the Pacific and he's going to relax for a bit. You know, we all need that downtime. Even when you work a regular job, you know, you take a vacation, you take a day off every once in a while just because you have to. This is no different. If you just feel like, okay, I can't think anymore, I need a day, I need 2 days, then you take those time. But when you come back refreshed, make sure that you utilize the time so you don't get in that situation. That's why I said work your calendar, schedule your day off, schedule your time off, and schedule exactly what you want to do so that you know at any point in time exactly what you want to do for your business.
Well, I work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday at teaching piano. Absolutely adore the job. It's the best part of music that I've ever taught. But it means that I work in the morning till I have to go to that job, then I leave for that job. When I come back, there's usually an evening meeting, and then I work after that. I work a lot of hours.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones I work teaching piano are all standing up. There's a lot going on, I'll tell you. I just feel like I can't get it all done.
You know what I do? Especially because most of y'all have 2 meetings y'all attend to, maybe 3 if you go to Paul's Thursday or Saturday class.
I have 5.
I was going to say,
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and there's several on Saturday.
And I have 6. So, and that's not counting the one that I'm teaching. So there's a lot of times on those weekly calls, I have my phone in my carrier and I have Zoom downloaded on my phone, and I'm walking around my house doing laundry, washing dishes, maybe cooking dinner, getting the grandkids washed, and listening to that. And I'm on mute. And there's been a couple of times where Roy said, "Is Sheila here?" And it's like, okay, y'all be quiet. I got to answer the phone.
I've actually heard that before.
Me too.
So,
Sheila, weren't you doing the laundry one night? We heard you.
And I said, y'all better do that laundry or something. I forgot I had unmuted myself because Roy was asking me something. And I told my son to get the laundry out of the dryer. And Roy went to laughing. I was like, what is he laughing at? And look, and I was still unmuted. I was like, darn it.
So this is Micah again. If I went to this rrr247.com location and I go through it, what is the next step I need to do so I better understand? Because like I said, the only way I can up it of y'all, I just don't see the beginning line yet. But,
what you need to
go to that, what else do I need to do?
Okay, that would be your starting point. And let me get back to that page and I will show you what you need to do, because you're going to do the first two, which is to get your V leads and get started with that. But then after you do that, you're going to go down to the following steps, which is down towards the bottom. So let's get there. And he's actually going to start breaking down how to get through each one of these steps. So he has a group one.
This is the RR247 page you're showing me.
Yes, ma'am. It's .com and then /3 R's /.
Yes.
Yes.
I have that.
And then you're going to come all the way down to here where it says group 1.
Okay.
And you're going to register for each one of these programs. These are all the free programs for your marketing house.
Okay.
And then these are the ones that are the referral links. You will get those from your instructor.
Sheila.
Yes.
You know, I was told that I can't do those until I finish step 1.
Yeah, most people, you should have step 1 done, which is modify your Valentis and your wine pages.
Yeah, see, I haven't finished those.
Yeah, and the other thing is he actually has a video down here. Let me find out where it's at. On how he's modifying a page right here. So you can come down to the cooking, food, and wine, and he's modifying the fat burning kitchen. This is the same process that you use to modify this page that you will use to modify every page that you have.
Anything at all.
Anything. Yep. It's the same process. Also, Paul has one on his website. Let's see if we can get Paul's website up. Hold on just a minute.
What is his website?
Micah,
Paul
this is Gail. I was going to tell you, I'm new also, and I spent the first 3 months just listening, just to get the lingo, because I'm so computer.
I know it. I totally hear you there. I mean, yes. I mean, I'm here.
So it's been about 6 months for me, and I'm finally starting to understand some of the words. And that once you get that helps a whole lot.
Yep. Okay. And that's why I said, don't be afraid when you come to my class to ask me. I promise you, I will stop whatever we're doing and make sure you understand your system. There's no reason for us not to, if some of it says it's going over your head and you're not quite comfortable with it, then say, hey, can you go over that? I'm not quite there yet. Then I will ask you, what exactly do you need me to go over? What do you need? Trust me, you can ask anybody here. I will make sure we go over that. If I have to go over it every Saturday at the beginning, that's what I'll do. I just want to make sure everybody understands their system. But more important, that's the thing. You want to make sure it is your system. Yes, we do have certain protocols we want, but those protocols are mainly your teaching tools to help you understand and how it works. So this is Paul's site, and hopefully I'm in the right one.
Now my tabs on the left are not the same as what I see in all the training.
What, the ones over here, your category pages?
Yes.
And they might not be, because those of us that have been in for a while, we've modified and added and taken out. So yours could be different, especially if you're brand new. They could be different. That's because we can add, change, and delete these as you go along.
Have you gone over how to add over into this left side?
We have, but we can go over it again on another training. I actually have a YouTube channel that has all that information on there. Paul actually has it here too. So
okay, I think I'm a subscriber, so I'll go in through there.
Yep. So here's where Paul has his Thursday webinar, and you can actually come in here and listen and see all the difference. He actually says making a new category and menu training. So that's exactly what you were just talking about.
Where's that now?
This is Paul's 2Q84 blogging classes. I actually posted it in the chat. So if you can go through up at the chat.
Yeah.
Where did I put it?
You can also save your chat.
Yeah. If you go down to the bottom, you can actually save the chat. You see these 3 dots down here? I don't know if y'all can see my chat.
Yeah, I see it right there.
So you see these 3 dots right here? It says more. You can actually click save chat and it will save it
Where will it put it though?
You can, it tells you show in folder.
Yeah, and it gives the date of the of it too.
Yeah. So
In
you
the
can
title.
hit show in folder, and it'll tell you which folder it's saved in. And then again, if you wanted to move it, you can move it. Mine's always saved in my Zoom because I'm on Zoom. So this is one of those things where you can actually have it move the folder, or you can change it to a different one if you want to. But it will tell you where it's at, and you can just jot it down so you know where to find it the next time. And then that way you can go back through and scroll through all the different information, web links, and anything that was posted there that you need.
Okay, that's good.
So, but I just reposted this page in for Paul. And this has all the different things that he records, and has, like you said, he actually has the title beside it on what he went over. So he's got different information on here that you can go through and use and be able to see. Okay.
I just feel the urgency, because the original reason that I joined up was because this was the business that would fit in with my teaching schedule, but I need to make money.
Yeah.
And so it, that's pushing me and driving me to do this well and as best I can.
Yeah.
And I feel the time crunch. I really do. Because like my mentor will say, I was making money the first month. I was like, really? How come I'm not?
Yeah, and it really is, like I said, it depends on time constraints. And if you have a full-time job, your time is really constrained, because you already know 8 to 10, a lot of people say, oh, I work an 8-hour job. Okay, you might work an 8-hour job, but you got an hour that you get dressed. You got, 30 minutes to an hour drive, and then same thing coming and going. So your 8-hour job is really a 10 to 12-hour day. It's gone. Just go ahead and mark that off job, So, and then you got, with me, 4 or 5 hours sleep is fine. If I sleep more than that, I wake up with a severe migraine. So most of the time I get 4 hours of sleep and I'm good to go. So then that's out of the 12 hours that's left. I have 8 hours to do what I need to do if I was working a job. So most people still don't have that because they sleep 8 hours. So therefore they're limited to their 4 hours. Depending on how your job is, if I was still working, I had my own office. So yeah, I could close my door if I wanted to, and put a do not disturb sign up saying they would have thought I was in a meeting or doing some kind of something, that was HR related that nobody could bother. And I could have been on the phone talking to a student or doing some training. They wouldn't have known. Some people don't even have that option. They actually, are in a cubicle where everybody can see them. So that's why I said work your calendar on the days that you have free time. Most people, it's on the weekend. Utilize that time, but don't neglect your family and don't neglect your own personal health and mental status. So if that means you are burnt out from your job and working so much on your system during the week that you need maybe a Saturday or Friday night or a Sunday afternoon to just say, okay, I'm done. I'm just going to lounge around in my PJs all day and just veg out, and watch a good movie. That's what you do so that you can start fresh whenever you get ready to start back. But don't burn yourself out to the point to where you don't want to do anything, because then that's where you end up losing your momentum. You end up losing, the reason you got in. You start questioning it. And when they say they make money, most of the times they were ready to become instructors. They got students in, they came in, or they advertised every chance they got, and got people coming in through their advertising. So that's why I say, if you say I got 3,000 or 4,000, and you're like, oh, that's great. No, you need more. Trust me.
Oh my God.
You need ads out there, and the more the better, because like I said, 3.5 billion people, and you got 3,000 ads out there. You do the math. That's not enough. There's not enough eyes being able to find you. There's too much stuff in the way. The more ads you have, the better people come to your site. Google will move you through the ranks. So that's why advertising is that important, because Google sees people clicking those free ads, coming to your website. It raises a flag on their bot, on their search index, and says, okay, this person's getting searched quite a lot. So then they move you up through the ranks. So now all of a sudden you've got all those 20, 30,000 people that were in front of you, you know, now are behind you because you're getting more clicks to your website than they are. That's what Google looks at. So that's why I say advertise, advertise, advertise. You want to set time not only for your website, you also want to set time to advertise. You want to do something in advertising every day, if possible. If not, if you can't do it every day, at least every other day. If not, then, you know, take one of those weekends that you have 8 to 10 hours dedicated and set aside at least 2 hours and do nothing but advertising. Pull up your templates and go.
Well, I know on some of the trainings, Rory says, do at least 20 ads a day. Mm-hmm. So if we do that for 3 months, that's 1,800 ads. That's not bad.
No, but he said
great.
You have time to do more. And like I said, if you go to classifieds for free, let's see if it's working today.
Yeah, I think that's the one where you can.
If you do classifieds in every state, you can do 50 ads with the template in less than 20 minutes.
Isn't that the one that you can advertise in every state? Mm-hmm. And then you go back, he says he goes back and advertises
in every city.
In every state.
And then you can go back and advertise in countries because they have every country.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is the most user-friendly ad site that we have. It's classified for free. It is also the busiest. So there are some days you can get on here and it takes forever for something to download or upload. And then there's some days you get on here and you can never get on here. And so it just depends on when you come in. The best time to advertise on here, for me anyway, because I'm in the East Coast, is late at night, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock. I never have any trouble getting on there at that time. And that's the good thing about these free ad sites. There's no time constraint. So I can advertise wine anytime. So you can just go here and post an ad. And I'm going to show you how easy it is. I'm going to pull up my template that I already have. And that's not the one I wanted. Where's the one I wanted? I want my new one. I think this is when I got my Halloween on. And seeing this one, I don't think I have the one I really want on there because I haven't done one yet. And I haven't. So I'm going to show y'all how to do a template really quick. All right, we're going to get rid of that.
So all of those paragraphs right there are templates?
Yep.
So I pretty much wasted 2.5 months.
No, you didn't waste anything. It's the training. You don't know what you don't know. So never, time in your system's never a waste.
Okay.
And I see that you're just doing this through Word.
Yes.
And mine's on Word too. How are you going to get costumes from Fine Wine? Party stuff.
So I'm telling them to get your costumes and party gear here from Fine Wines, party stuffs, and costumes all in one location.
How do you get them all in one location?
From my page.
So you already have a Halloween page.
Mm-hmm.
Like a, okay.
Yep.
I get it.
So now I'm going to find my page. And it is, I think it's costume. Okay, create your own costume. So I'm going to come here to my edit page, and I'm going to grab my permalink.
I'm not crying. I just have an eye that waters constantly.
That's good to know. I don't want to make Sheila has made someone cry.
No, I've done that one time inadvertently, and it tore me apart.
Oh no, my eyes are just extremely dry, and I've been to the doctor and over, and it's just dry.
I can't imagine you even doing it inadvertently, Sheila.
I really didn't realize I had done it.
No way.
I did. It tore me up.
I was joking.
I know, but I did. It was one of my students, and I was like, but she told me, she said, nothing you said was something you said. And I'm like, what? She said, it's because of, I teach like I would any student. If I know you're not doing something right, I want to make sure you're aware of it and fix it. And that's what happened. And she thought she was doing it right. She wanted to continue to do it her way. And I was like, no, it's not working. That's not how it's done. And she appreciated it, but at the time it kind of, she felt like, she had wasted all this time and that she couldn't do it right. And I was just like, no, it's not that. So I was trying to figure out how to, so now I have to, monitor how I say stuff. But my husband has always told me, I talk and not really mean some of the things that can come around different ways. So anyway.
Mine keeps reminding me, it's just business, but I'm not used to the business world. I'm used to.
Yeah, you see, that's me. I'm used to
business
business world.
A whole different perspective.
Yeah, I'm used to the business world, where if you don't be upfront and right on target, they can skew it any way they want to, and so I have to always be very direct, and that's just the way I've always been. All right, so here we're going to go. It automatically defaults to the United States. And as you can see in my paragraph or in my page, I talk about, and I got this stuff from ClickBank. I got this from CJ, how to, I'm just going to resolve this. That's fine. Okay.
What happens to the code? When you post the ad, does it automatically turn into
No,
Word?
when you post the ad, it automatically shows up as the picture. Only in edit mode do you see code. So then here is my different things. So then I can do trick or treat adult style, tell them how kids can get their costumes, liven up things with a twist where they can go and get adult costumes. And then here's one that I love this. I found this online. I still don't know where I found it. But it's a vampire and said, honestly, I came here to drink your blood. And he says, but this claret is positively delightful. So it called a catchphrase, and I went to the old spelling of vampire. This is the old Transylvanian spelling of vampire. So even and it's vampires, know a great wine, and it says Happy Halloween, and then they have a link to my Fine Wines online thing. So that's an internal link. So they can actually come here, say have a safe Halloween. So I've linked how to get music, games, and fine wine, adult style. So you was asking how can they get all of that? It's in my page I've created. So I've copied my link, So now we got to pick a category. So I'm going to come here and I want to do this. I would put it in entertainment, but I'm not. I'm actually going to put this in general merchandise. That way more people search general merchandise than anything else. I do put my email address just in case somebody wants to contact me. And again, my phone number is my Google Voice number.
So where do you get that number at?
Well, my Google, when you sign up for Google Voice with your V-marketing, they assign you a number. Okay, a lot of people keep getting kicked off of Google Voice for doing text messaging. And it's because you're not getting any other traffic. I have people call me all the time. And I let it go to voicemail because I don't know the number. And then I'll call them back. And it's like, you know, because they always tell me, I saw your ad so-and-so. And I'll call them back because I can call them back from my Google Voice.
Okay.
And it shows up as this number. It doesn't show up from my personal phone. I can call them from my personal phone all day, and they still see this number here. Okay. So I put that in there. I don't put a price. And then my description, I'm going to come back to my template. And I'm going to pull up this description right here, including my email, my link. Some places let you put links, some places don't. This one will allow you to. So I paste my description in there. Then I'm going to come here and get this link. I'm going to put it in my web page URL. And then I'm going to come down here where it says post an ad. You don't want to post an ad without pictures. So if you don't have your pictures, I got a ton of them. I probably already have it in here, but if I don't, I'm going to come here and I'm going to choose a file. And I'm going to upload the pictures I want to put in there. And I want all my new Halloween pictures that I have. And I've created these pictures on Canva, so they're more of a meme than a picture, but they serve two purposes because each picture has a different web page on it. So if they just cycle through my picture and see it, then guess what? They see a page from my website that might not necessarily be the same page I'm advertising with the ad I'm doing. So my website is getting double exposure. So I'm going to come here to my logos. And I am going to find my pictures I want to use. Okay, I want to use that one. And I'm going to upload my image. That should take forever.
I guess it's kind of good when you advertise. Nobody really knows it's you.
No, they don't.
So like, I could advertise wine, but my church or my employer is really the one. He works for the Music Academy at church. And if I drink wine, I could lose my job. But I can advertise anonymously.
Yeah, you're advertising your website. You're not advertising you.
That's why I didn't want to put my name in the title of my website.
You know, like I said, mine's Mama Chief. I don't put Sheila out there, but everybody knows me by either one. But I know there's a lot of people that my husband associate with that knows me as Mama Chief. If I asked them what my real name was, they couldn't tell you. Because all the years I've known them, they've always called me Mama Chief because they call my husband Chief.
Oh, I see.
But every time they see me, it's like, hey, Mama Chief. I have one now. Every time he sees me, hey, Mama Chief. And if I asked him what my name was, he would probably turn beet red because he couldn't tell me. So
that's funny.
So yeah,
I don't have a nickname like that.
Yeah, so hopefully this thing's going to upload. So there it goes. So then I'm going to choose another file, and this one will allow you to do 3 pictures. So I'm going to do all 3 of my pictures that I want. Hopefully I can get them all in. So there's that one. I want to get the one that I have actually in the article. I'll do this one. And then I want to do the one more, and I want to put the one that advertises our wine and dine on Wednesdays. I actually created a meme for that one, or flyer, I should say. It's not a meme. I created a flyer for it. So I'm going to come down here and get the wine and dine flyer.
I guess I better be good on Wednesday.
You'll be fine. Just like you said, you know, you want to take your time and make sure you do it right, and that you're comfortable with what you're doing.
I'm doing this chicken and wine dish that's been in my family forever. And I'm also doing a very simple side, a very simple side to go with it.
You will be fine.
Are you doing the wine and dine, Holly?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Yeah, she's doing it Wednesday.
Oh, super.
Right, so
I must have made this thing probably 40 times already, and my mother made it when I was growing up.
So you'll be fine. You can do it with your eyes closed. So now the thing about it is after I've uploaded the pictures, this is key. You want to check them in the order you want them to show. Since I'm advertising adult parties or a party adult style, I want to do this one because that's what it says. Then I'm going to do the one for the next Dracula, and then I'm going to do this one last. And then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to post my ad. And hopefully it'll post pretty quickly. So then it's going to show me Halloween party adult style. And then there's my description. There's my link. They got my information. And then here's my pictures. And it's posted in general merchandising in the United States. So here's my pictures. And you see I got my little logo here for my fine wines. This one also, why drink blood when red wine tastes so much better? Happy Halloween. Again, there's my logo. And then here's for the wine and dine party that I made. And then here's the key to posting on this site and why it's so user friendly. After you have your initial one done, click post another ad. It's going to bring you back to your creation. And then all you're going to do is from here is select a state, and you just go state by state. Click Alabama, not Illinois. Come down to the bottom and post your ad. As soon as it
saves all your info.
Yep, everything's saved. Post my ad. So then it's going to post ad. And then it's going to come up and say ad posted in Alabama, Alabama, and merchandising. And come down to the bottom. Do you want to post another ad? Yes, I do. And then you go to the next state. Or if you want to go to a country, you come out here where it said outside the United States, click, but you have to make sure your affiliates are okay with that because some affiliates are only post in the United States. So then you can come here. I know mine are worldwide. So I can come here and start with Australia because I know my wines can go to Australia. And I come down here and I click post in Australia. And my article is going to get posted in Australia. And I can do that all day long, or you can do it and I'm not changing anything other than where I'm posting. So when I say you can do 100 ads here in an hour, this is how you do it. And you know, once you do all the states, then you can come and do all the countries outside the United States that you can post to, and do that on day one. And then on day two, you can use the same ad and then start with each state and a city in that state. So I'm still going to go outside the United States. What's the next state that or country that we can go to with our wine? It is Canada. So boom, I'm going to Canada and post. And
so
like
that's
I said,
why I'm sorry.
And that's why, like I said, you see how slow it is? It's because it's 5 p.m. Eastern time, which is their busiest time is between 2 and 6 on this one. You can, early mornings, late nights is when you can get on here and post and post and post, and you don't have this big delay. Anytime I post in mid-afternoon, it takes me forever to post, 100 ads. But if I do it late at night, I can do 100 ads in 45 minutes.
So if somebody clicks on your ad, you get notified?
Yes, I'll show you that in just a second. So where's the next place I want to go? Okay. England. Germany is still in pre-launch, so I'm going to go to England because that's part of the UK. And I'm going to, come on, you're covering up my post ad. Here we go. So post an ad. And it's going to England. So now it's like, well, how do I know anybody clicked my ad, or looked at it? This up here is your toolbar. You can actually go to view your ads. So I can click here and say my ads. And it will show me all my ads that I've posted so far. I can find them. And at the very end of it, it will have views. So it tells me how many times my ad's been viewed. Like this is one I did yesterday. Already this one has 2 views, 3 views. And I did it last night about 1 o'clock, right before my grandson got sick. And look how many people has already, has already looked at it. Most people say, oh, well, that's only one. Yeah, but that's one person that clicked on my site, my website, and viewed it. And these are all in different countries. So I can come through here and look and see who's done what on my ad sites. And this one you need to update it or renew your ads every 30 days. I tell my students come in every 25 days to renew. And it's very easy to do. So so here's another one. See, like this one, like I said last night, look here, this one's already got 2 hits where people's come in and viewed this site. They viewed this ad or looked at it. Look, this one's got 5. And this is just from last night. And I put my referral links out there. I actually did a page with all my referral links on there, from my free ones all the way to my paid referrals. So people can come on my website, read my page on how to make money with referral programs. And guess what one of my referral programs is? I put a link on, hey, you want to see how to tie your referral programs to a website? And I put the Keystone video on there. So this one's got 4 hits. Like I said, this is just from last night that I posted this ad on there. And then say it's getting close to your 30 days and you want to renew. This is just one site that I have ads. I'll click here and just hit renew all ads. And guess what? It renews all my ads for another 30 days. Not just one, but all of them. And it might take a while. And then it'll tell you how many ads it renewed. And it might take it a minute, and it'll tell you renewing ads. And then once it's finished, it'll say ads renewed, and it'll have a number.
So how do you know if it's been 30 days?
That's why I always say go in before your 30 days. Usually what I do is once a week, because some of my ads, the time difference is there. So whenever you're going in and creating ads at the end of the week, just go in and renew. That way it puts everything on a 30-day schedule. And if you have to mark it in your calendar, hey, on this day I renewed my ads, mark it. Because they won't remind you on this one.
Okay.
So this one, I have 3,800 ads on this one that I've done. And I don't know how many pages is on here. And, I have some ads have 200-300 views on them. But those are some of the ads that have been there forever. And I never take an ad down. I've got one ad that has 1 view in it, and it's been out there for a month. But I got 1 view. So if I take that down, then that person that saw that one time might come back and look for it again and can't find it. So I never take an ad down because you never know. It just might pick up steam later on.
What about your Halloween ads? Do you
Nope.
You keep them up year round or what?
I keep them up year round. And the reason being is because it is a Halloween ad and it's here under my promotional stuff. So when they come in and read Halloween, this stuff is year round. They can get wine year round. They can shop this costume place right here, halloweenscostume.com. It's open year round. Yeah. So it's not just Halloween. Right here, my New Wave oven, you can buy that year round. So even though it says Halloween, it's still stuff they can purchase year round. And it's going to be in my promotional and seasonal category. So it's not stuff that's only going to be there one time. It's stuff that they can shop year round.
So when you redo the ad, you just kind of change the heading maybe.
No, I won't redo the ad. When I redo the ad, next time I post it, I might have a different header on it, but all this stuff will still be the same.
You'll just change your heading of whatever you're trying to.
Yeah, on my ad. So next year, if I want to do keep that same page, I'll probably make another page, but I can create a template and just add it with this Halloween one and still use that same information that's there and just add different headlines and then maybe do a different, description. And then that will give me, 2 different descriptions to use for the same information. And I'm going to go in and update it because, who knows, I might have more affiliates by then that has costumes, because I didn't put any of my adult costumes, because I have adult clothing lines that have what they consider costume wear, that's a little bit risque. I didn't put those in there. I could have, since it's an adult themed web page, but I didn't put that in there. But I could create another page just on that.
Adult parties are year round too, not just for Halloween. So
exactly. So
and it does bring you to your site.
So once they get, and that's my main focus, is get them to my site. Now I do have pages like with the wine. They have a promotion. Every once in a while they'll put the wine on sale, or they will say brand partners can get in and save $100, and they might only run it for a few weeks. Those I still leave them out there, and once the promotion is over, I go to that page and put a disclaimer at the top of it and say, although this promotion is over, we still have great fine wines that you can access. And, and I'll say, visit this page and send them to a new page. That would be an internal link. But I never take an ad down and never take a page down because it's always in my system. And it always brings them to my system to shop my other categories.
I have a question.
Okay.
So I forgot. Never mind.
All right. Well, it's 5 o'clock, a little bit after, and I think we're going to call it a day. I don't want Roy to get mad at me because I went too long. He's going to say I kept people off the phone line. So, we're going to call it a day. And then if you have any questions that you come across that your instructor doesn't answer for you this week, have them with you and we will discuss them and go over it. I try to stay strictly to our website and issues with our website. I try not to get into personal stuff. Excuse me. So if I veer away from that, trust me, it's not personal. I just want to keep this as professional as we can.
Thank you, Sheila.
You are very welcome.
It's been amazing.
Thank you. It's easy to teach people that's willing to learn. That's the key.
There you go.
That's the key. So,
bye, everybody.
All right, we're going to tell everybody goodbye, and I'll post this on my YouTube as soon as it's ready.
See you next week.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Bye,
Have a
everybody.
good weekend.
Have a good
Bye.
weekend.
Bye-bye.